I can't believe I haven't found anything yet. There have been thousands of makers before me. You'd think one of them would have fiddled around with the soul before.
It feels like everyone and everything around me remembers where they've come from better than I do. But the only memory I'm concerned about is that of the storms. Where do they come from? And where do they go?
Honestly, I'm trying to make more friends. Some I can only hear. But they'll be here soon enough. After all, that's what summoning's for, isn't it? I'd love it if you could be my friend too.
The thing is, I can't help but wonder. Without all of those pieces, even just one or two, who would you become? And the people for whom those pieces are gone, who have lost the parts of themselves that magic has decreed one small piece of a whole, what happens to them?
Hey everybody! I almost missed the transition on the finale. It's fine. Hi everybody, and welcome to the finale of Fraying Threads, an Invisible Sun campaign set in the surreal world of Saturnine and of Invisible Sun by Monty Cook Games. I'm Mare, your game master. I use they, she pronouns, and I am stressed. We're going to go around and say, hey, who we are, who we're playing, character sentence, whatever downtime you did, and then we'll do the recap and we'll get started. We're going to start with Gena today.
Hi, I'm Gena, she, her. I play Sophrona, also she, her. She is an established ardent of the Order of the Vance who is adored by the sea. I think it's the only second time I've ever done it. During downtime, she stayed in her house. She babysat our little heart, which actually we learned is called. I think it has a. Hold on, let me check what name.
It is the heart of the representation of a heart of a creature named Oriel.
Yes, we learned that. She kept it in her house. She didn't want to drop it. Yeah, that's all she did. Actually, literally.
You literally just babysat.
I babysat. That's what I did.
Kian.
I like how the fate of Lace has engendered a fear in you, and now you just do not leave your home.
Kian.
If you go outside, they will take things that you love. This is the lesson to learn.
Okay. Okay. Paranoid. Sorry, go ahead.
No worries. Hello, everybody. My name is Kian. You can find me on Twitter at @uptight_chiffon. I just clicked to the wrong page. I am playing Aspen Thane, who is a connected gallant of the Order of Makers who walks with a secret companion. And Aspen was pretty low-key, kind of doing research as needed, as directed by the rest of the team, but sort of just more of that time of trying to, recenter themselves, figure out who the hell they are at this point in their lives. But yeah, pretty chill downtime this time around.
Gilly.
Is my mic on? I can't tell if I hard muted it or not.
I can hear you.
Great. I couldn't see the button, so I wasn't sure if it was flashing. Alright, anyway. Hi, I'm Gilly. You can find me at Oh Look It's Gilly most places on the internet. And I play Lace, whose pronouns are she, they. My pronouns are she, her. And Lace is a bizarre ardent of the Order of Weavers who splinters into fragments. And she has spent her downtime working on her splintering into fragments slightly. She's picked up some new forte skills. And they've also learned a new spell, which may or may not be helpful today. We will find out. It is not, however, the spell, which we may or may not use today. It is a different but distinct spell that we may or may not use today. As you can tell, we have planned extensively and in great detail, and nothing can possibly go wrong. Yes.
And last but not least, Victor, who is also going to do our recap.
Hello, everyone. My name is Victor. I use he and they pronouns, and I'm playing Ray today, a bizarre ardent of the Order of Goetica
Who disgorges creatures? Let's start with our recap before we go into my downtime actions. Ray started off our game last 2 weeks ago. With breaking into a rich person's rooftop garden in the Marquis Quarter to visit where Songbird's main consciousness ended up. Ray spoke an oath to Songbird that he would protect it and put down a protective circle to keep any angels out. And was then confronted by Drumta on the rooftop, being told to stay out of their business or they would kill people. And Ray responded by throwing a sledgehammer and hitting. The line was drawn, and Ray is angry because it threatened, Drepta threatened all of his friends and loved ones. And then we went to a differently tense scene where Aspen went to go talk with Adistrea, who we now know is the reason why Aspen has lost their beloved friend Brady, who was sort of the goal heading up to, like, in their original character arc. Things got a little tense. And Aspen was very upset because something they had made had fallen into Adistrea's hands. A bracelet that did something. I don't remember if that was revealed.
It was not. It was really cool, though.
And Aspen determined that while they were not ready to have that conversation, that they were happy that he had it. I think that was the final determination. And then we had gotten a message from Adistrea saying that we had mysterious visitors waiting for us. And these visitors, of course, were friends for in their eyes from very long ago. For us, just a couple of months. The king and Drosera were visiting from Emren. The king deciding to abdicate their throne and travel beyond, and has come to help us with the Songbird situation. They think they can help with Songbird. And we had, Sophrona had a lot of feelings, but a lot of joy with seeing our visitors from Emran as well. And Aspen was very intimidated. But we did it, lads. And then we went with Ray, WR Ray, Little Ray,
Short Ray.
to the Short Ray. There we go, not Little Ray. To the Library of Mentor's Library. To find a spell to take away magic from a creature. And while there, Sophrona got a vision of Drumta checking something in the library and went to go look for this item that they were checking. In the process, Aspen and Sophrona went down and nearly got stabbed by the people of the Stacks, which are people who get lost in the library and become their own society, because they didn't see a warning that they were passing into other territory. Meanwhile, Ray and Lace read a bunch of books to find a spell. Double Ray and Lace. That sounds like a jazz band.
Double Ray and Lace is definitely a jazz band.
Lace and the Rays, I think it was.
Lace and the Rays. And that's really what. And then we discovered in the box that Sophrona and Aspen had taken was a small porcelain heart. That's really what happened last week. Coming off of that, Ray took downtime to spend some time with Adistrea, probably to Aspen's chagrin, to introduce Adistrea criminally to Songbird by walking up the side of a building again. as well as asking for her help in their summoning dreamt plans. He also powered up Finnair to be even more clever than this like illusion shark is, as well as taking time to create something with Adestrea's help by meeting the Warden of the Silver Sun.
It was not. Nope, it was not the Warden of the
wasn't?
Silver. No, it was not.
Okay,
it was just an angel. It was an angel from the Silver Sun.
Got it. It was just an
Nobody
angel.
can summon a warden like that.
I didn't. Sorry.
It's okay. I was like, no. I know you want to meet them. I know you do.
I do. Yeah.
You're gonna have to go to the Silver for that.
Gotcha. But we made an item together with an angel, potentially as a last ditch effort for non-violent solutions. And I will reveal more about this if we need to use it.
Yes. So I would like to add a little bit onto that. The players, the 2 items that they found in the library were a monograph with the spell that will take away a person's magic for a year and a day. It actually looks like a stuffed teddy bear holding a heart with all the instructions on how to cast the spell written on it. And the heart, you know what? We'll find out what it does in the game, but I wanted to at least mention what the monograph looks like. And as always, as a reminder, this campaign has content warnings. The themes in Invisible Sun might not be suitable for all audiences, so if you are feeling a little uncomfortable, please take your safety into account, and if you need to walk away, please do so. Our specific content warnings are maybe not so much manipulation still happening. Substance abuse, alcohol probably will not show up too much in this episode, and body horror, which will probably show up in this episode because it is the finale. And if you like what we do and you want to just like support us, we have a Pally tip page and it's right there. Are we ready to go? All right. For the first card pull of the game, I said it was a doozy, and I have pulled the Jackal. Value 0, mysteries, rats, mirrors, and stone. Meanings: intimidation, power, ruthlessness, dark magic, and necromancy. This intimidating fellow is a dread figure to be certain. The Jackal represents everything non-sphere about Visley. Threatening displays of destructive power, dark soul-riveting spells, ruthless, unforgiving magic that taps into death, demons, and worse. Power for power's sake, he is selfish. He is a selfish, megalomaniacal figure, willing to do whatever it takes to get what he wants. The Jackal is the nemesis of the Mysteries family. Many believe, however, he is a literal being and not just a symbol on a card. Some believe all the royalty cards show real immortal beings. If he is real, he is some kind of diabolical figure that not only uses dark magic, but also offers it to others willing to use his methods. Nemesis card. Everybody has a -1 to their adventures. We have no stoics in the party, which would be a -2. Where are we meeting? This is a
You
great
come over
question.
to my house. Shard and I are chilling.
And let me know exactly who you're inviting.
Any,
My house is too small.
Your house is a smidge small.
Your
So
house is small and very vertical.
It's small in the X and Y axis, not the Z.
Yes. I think people, yeah, everyone's invited. I think Blaze has been hanging out with the dodos and has been working on spellcraft, and will of course prepare a charcuterie board. It's not my original joke. It's Mare made it first, I think, and then Vic made it, but I will steal it and claim it as my own. And it's like cheese and olives and everything, but they're shaped as like a giant shark on her like metal table. It's like those TikToks of people who just have like huge
The grazing
cooking
tables.
surfaces that you don't understand. And I don't understand, I should say. I have no counter space in my but it's great. It looks delicious. Shard is eating cheese.
Absolutely. Not just cheese, he's eating a lot of stuff.
I think if this is just a meetup before we spring into action, I think Ray would just be like, we're the leaders of this mission. We will meet and then we will move.
Is this where you're doing the summoning?
That's what I was gonna ask.
Yeah. That's important. Where
I
are you
feel like
telling
we should
everyone
pick-
else?
Yeah, we should meet somewhere sort of that we don't mind being destroyed.
Oh. Funny you say.
I mean,
no.
Oh.
Well, I was going to say that the false arch is in a giant courtyard, if I'm remembering correctly, Mayor. It's a public space, but everybody that we invite could stay in my home until we need them. Because that is where I live.
That's
And I have a
true.
really terrible HOA neighbor, so...
Are
Yeah.
we allowed to just cast in the middle of the courtyard?
With the audacity of the spell, who is going to stop us?
Also, it's Fartown, the Visley district. If it were any other district, you'd get more side-eye, but I think you can get away with it if you really wanted to in public. It's not really recommended, Ray, for summoning creatures that might be dangerous in public, but...
Yeah.
Astraya would probably not want to summon it in public.
Ooh.
Like, if you told her we were meeting at the False Arch to do the summoning, she would press to be like somewhere not public where people can get hurt.
Yeah.
That's also, to be fair, Aspen would not want Adestraya in his home.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah.
It's true.
Good point.
He would do it, but
Like,
you
why
can be
would you
damn
invite
sure he's
yourself
gonna-
into that pain?
I mean, he's going to make it as miserable as possible for her, just out of spite. But
I think I don't think Ray would let you. Well, the scenario's not gonna happen. I think Ray offers his home for the summoning.
Okay.
Mostly because he can rearrange furniture by just willing it. And also, he's been feeling like potentially he needs a change in scenery anyway. He's been spending more time in the hollows than at home. So yeah, Ray's like, no, if it's my place, it's fine.
I like the
Which-
idea that you all come over here just for us to go like, okay, let's go to Ray's house now.
You can.
We just
Yeah.
all had this conversation.
I mean, if that's
At
where the
your house.
snacks are, we should be at Lace's place at least for a little bit.
That's true. We gotta get snacks. We
Pre-gamed.
gotta also make them portable, right?
Mhm.
Convenience. Lace has to-go bags.
I was gonna
Well-
say, you just have Ray with his strongness pick up the huge ass charcuterie board and bring it back to his house.
Yeah.
I think Ray does say, some of us can go back to my house, but what did we find out about the heart?
Sophrona was hanging out with it all week, right?
It's true, yeah.
Yeah, like, is it?
I was checking the information on the heart, so I didn't actually hear it. I hear that. Can you repeat that? I was rereading the.
No worries. What Ray said was like, so what did we find out about the heart?
So, she has it. It is, the box is leaking water, actually. So it's like, there's something obviously wrong with it. So, at one point, there was this, she'll open the top, and there's like a crack in the heart. Yeah. And there's like water.
Leaking out of like the ventricles
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah. not really sure why it's doing that. The threads are still connected though. But I don't know what this is.
Well, you know what it is, you just don't know why it's doing that.
Yeah,
right
I
now.
don't know. Like this being the water. I don't know what that is. It's just that's happening. I don't know.
So what heart is it? Is it Drumta's heart?
It's the heart of a different hold on. Yeah, it is the representation of a heart of a different angel named Oriel. It represents Oriel's real heart. Like this is not it. This is a separate thing entirely. But it represents the very real heart of Oriel. So I don't think it's looking good.
Who is Oriel?
Different angel. I mean, I don't know.
Dude.
All I know. The heart told me Oriel is a different angel. That's all I know.
How are they in? Did it tell you how Oriel is involved in this?
Not really. When I talked to the heart was very afraid, so I didn't get a lot of information. I did learn that a demon gave this heart to Dremta to ensure that Oriel is still alive and well. As far as I can tell, based on context clues, Oriel is still alive. Well is up for debate. Alive, but you know, the water does not. It's not inspiring confidence. Not even for me. Drumta is, I can tell you, Drumta has noticed that the heart is missing and is worried. I will note, Mayor, I did take the note back out of the box before I opened this.
That's fair.
So, you know.
You took the note back out.
I took the note that they don't know about.
Yeah.
Did you
Don't worry about it.
Did you get a sense that Drumta is coming for us? Because I assume that he knows that it was us.
I would assume that, yes. I'm not sure, because you know the scrying thing that I can do. It's you know, Drumta can block it, so I don't know exactly what's going on beyond. Definitely notice it's missing. Very distraught, and then this happened. So this is what I know. But you know, I didn't drop it. This is not me. You can't blame me.
We weren't.
just
Literally,
get that
no
out
one
there.
was blaming you.
You know, I just thought you might be tempted with like the water theme and the water theme, just to get that out of the way.
I mean, I considered it. I'm not gonna lie, but I didn't think it for long. But I will admit.
So what I am understanding is this being's person heart is being leveraged against Dremta.
Yes, as far as I understand.
So that's unfair. And that I kind of wish I didn't know that, because I did want to just sledge Dremta in the head. But now it feels like...
It's unfortunate, isn't it, when the people that you don't like end up having human qualities, huh?
Ow.
Yeah. I could understand why people would feel upset and would love to give them the space to be upset about it.
Aspen didn't say anything else.
Hypothetical people, speaking of nobody in particular, just anyone who happens to be upset.
Safrona's wiping down the table before she puts the box back down. That's what's going on.
You're carrying a towel with you. Just
So we have to find this Oriole, right? And grab them, so then we can just make Dremta stop without having to break them into pieces.
I don't know.
So, like, do we think that this Oriole has been taken by the demon, or is in like if some kind of leverage exists over Dremta, there must be a reason why Dremta has not gone to get Oriole.
Yeah, I suspect that's above our pay grade.
So then what are we
Besides-
gonna do about any of this?
Well, I think our primary concern is to get Dremta to leave us alone.
Yeah, I suppose, but my idea for leaving us alone was like destroying them. Utterly. It feels kind of mean now.
Just a tad.
Yeah.
Should we summon and talk to the angel? I feel like we need to summon and talk to the angel.
Which angel?
Well, actually, that's a really good point.
I think Dremta will try to kill us if we summon him
Sifrona,
here.
you did not get a pull when you heard the name Oriel. It is not a true name.
Oh, okay.
You did not get
No,
that
we
little
can't
tug.
summon.
Yeah, it's not a...
Yeah.
It's not true name. Just gonna throw that out there. We don't know
Okay.
Ariel's true name. It's just...
We could go up the phone tree. Like, I mean, if
There's that
Colin-
one guilty angel that knows that Dremta did this to
That's true.
our church girl.
But that's like separate.
Well, they might know more angel names.
I could.
Could just
That
ask
was my
Dremta
fault.
directly.
You're just gonna go on like a phone tree and just like, do you know this person's name? Do you know this person's name?
Awful. We could just summon Dremta and
Like, so,
but if we can't hold them here and we need to depower them, we will be losing our shot.
ooh.
So do we summon them, depower them, and then use that as, hey, for a year and a day, you don't get to do magical shit at all. But we will, like maybe we can help with your other problems. Though I'm not really inclined to. We could just end this by summoning them and depowering them and no, but then in a year they'll just come back.
Here's a
That
long
doesn't-
time.
It's a band-aid.
Well, that feels like it doesn't really solve the problem. It feels like it just puts the problem off for a metaphorical tomorrow, which I'm not objecting to in principle, but in an ideal world, we could just fix it.
I
So what are our
vote.
options?
I'm sorry, Sifrona.
No, what are our options?
I vote that we go and talk to Yi Moon and ask about this Oriel and see if there's information that we can gather about this angel.
Okay.
Okay. And in the meantime, I think we should have people set up a spell at my house. Set up the summoning. And hopefully we'll have something more before we have to go for our final answers on this.
I think that's a good idea.
All right.
Okay. So you're heading back to Rive River, which is where Merryweather Hospital is, and where you are most likely to find Yi Moon. Yi Moon is not always there. They do not work there every single day of the week. Just letting you know.
I'm gonna stay at Ray's house because I'm still babysitting the heart, and I don't want to carry it around, especially now that it's leaking water everywhere.
Okay, that is fair. And some leaked water in Ray's house is no big deal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
It's gonna get slippery. I don't want to drop it. It's also like a sizable box.
It's just like this big. It's not that big. I think this big.
Oh yeah, no, that's still big enough for me to drop.
You're tiny. You're small. Okay. In that case, you all take the train and head to Rive River, which is where also Mentor's Square is, and so on and so forth. For this scene, I have pulled the Harvesting Spider, value 2, Mysteries, Rats, Mirrors, and Stone, meaning action, labor, stealth. Spiders are so many things: builders, weavers, and caretakers, but also hunters, killers, and blood drinkers. The Harvesting Spider cares for her young, but at the expense of what she harvests, and that just might be you. She is stealthy and sneaky. Her many footsteps are silent. Regardless, spiders never stop working. They build and create to serve specific purposes. Red is magic is enhanced, blue is hindered. Stoics get a +1 to their ventures. So the last time some of you were here were for medical treatment. Some of you were bringing people for medical treatment or checking in on people who had medical treatment, or you were being an interrogative person and asking an angel about information about another angel. So Meriwether Hospital is actually like a very plain looking building in comparison to a lot of buildings in Saturnine. It is just a plain building, couple floors, and as soon as you walk inside, it smells sterile, and you get a sense of calm.
Last time I was here, I got stabbed. Well, I had been stabbed. To be clear, the stabbing didn't.
You weren't stabbed here.
No, that's true. Fond memories.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, there is a little front-end check-in desk and so on and so forth, where there is a young woman sitting behind it.
Victor, you look like you were going to say something.
No.
Sorry.
Sorry.
I will approach. And Aspen is still dressed very mellow. Still looking very much like Shadow Aspen. And will very normally, I was trying to decide how grandiose Aspen is feeling about this, but will very normally just say, I'm so sorry, we're here looking for Yi Moon, if they are available.
This woman, who is writing down, looking like she's doing some paperwork, looks up at you, and you see that her eyes are glowing a bright yellow. And she looks at you, and then looks at everyone else. Are you here to get treated?
No, we had connected with them previously, and weren't sure where else we might find them.
I will see if they are here and available. Please give me 1 minute.
Thank you.
And she turns away and actually picks up a phone. There are very few phones in Saturnine. Well, there aren't not a few phones, but people rarely use them. And she begins talking into it. She's like, can you please go find Yi Moon? Can you haunt them for 5 seconds to see if they're available and not treating someone and then get back to me? Okay. All right, thank you. There's a 5-minute wait. Okay, thank you. You can go back to haunting the lines now. And then she hangs up the phone and turns to the rest of you. Yes, Yi Moon is here. I have, they are in, actually, wait, hold on. She picks up the phone again. Yes, it's me again. Yeah, can you tell Yi Moon that they have visitors? Okay. When they're done? Okay. And then she hangs up the phone again. Sorry about that. We'll see how long it takes, if you don't mind waiting.
Sure.
I can't let you up there unless you're dying, bleeding, or you're here to visit someone.
Aspen reaches for one of the many weapons that they have on them, looks at the group, and is like, we could expedite this.
She just gives you the most deadpan stare. Don't test my patience.
We're in a bit of a hurry. I'm just saying.
And you're in a hospital with dying people, so you can wait. It's only like 30 minutes before Yi-Moon, this angel, comes down the stairs and then sees your group and like they recognize you and they nod. Hello. It is good to see you all in good health, and they specifically say that to you, Lace.
Hello, yes, I'm much less stabbed than I was. Thanks for your help. I greatly appreciate it. Would you like some of the fin?
I'm okay.
And she holds up
Thank you.
a little mini charcuterie board.
I'm okay. I'm on the job. I do need to get back soon. But I was told that you wanted to speak.
Honestly, just a quick question to see if you know anything.
Very well.
We think that part of the reason that everything is happening, including the stabbing and what happened to the poor woman, is because of because a demon is holding something over Dremta.
I did mention as much to Aspen last time we talked, my speculation, so I didn't have anything to prove it.
Sorry, go ahead.
No. All you.
We do. A heart. A representation of a heart of an angel named Oriel, or at least that's the name that it gave us.
Oh. That would make a lot of sense, actually. Oriel is a friend of mine and some other friends, as well as Dremta's, that went missing some time ago.
Have you heard... I will look to the group. Aspen is going to bumble their way through this explanation because I don't want to accidentally misspeak to Yi-Moon. We would like to possibly help Oriel, but we don't quite know where to start or how to go about it. And we have something, and we'll slow down here, something important of theirs looking to the group to see if we're going to get stopped.
Lace nods, and it I think it probably comes across as patronizing, but it's not meant to be. It's just yes, that's what I'd say too. Mm-hmm.
We have something very important of theirs, loose, kind of, related to something important of theirs.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't know how to help them, but we would like to.
And Yes, go ahead.
Sorry, we think that helping Oriel will stop whatever Dremta's doing.
That is a very high possibility. If what you're implying, please correct me if I'm wrong, is that Oriel, who has been missing for some time, might be being used as leverage?
Yes.
Yes.
They were incredibly close. Intimately.
Makes sense.
This, the possible demon influence that you and I had discussed.
Yes.
If we have something, I'm going to turn to the group. Can we just say this? Can we just...
Ray already said it, actually. So.
Oh, okay. Did we talk about the heart to Yi-Moon? Did we say that we have this heart that represents?
Yes.
Okay. I'm so sorry. I missed it, which is why I was like, I don't want to fuck this up and say it. One of our friends, the other friend who was here last time, saw threads. Are we able to follow these, perhaps, and find this demon? Do you know anything about this?
My expertise is in healing. I cannot help you here.
Well,
especially since I know nothing of the situation except what you told me. I have not seen Oriel in a very long time. I have not seen this heart with my own two eyes, and I do not have time to see this heart with my own two eyes, as I have people here I need to take care of.
you know Oriel's true name?
No.
Okay.
You know why this heart might be suddenly leaking water and cracking?
You said it was a representation, right?
Yes.
It could be a representation of what is going on with their heart, the actual one. That's my only guess, if what you said is the case.
Gotcha. Heartbreak and drowning.
Well, aren't we all?
Well,
So, like, it could be drowning in sorrow, it could be drowning in water, it could be drowning in goo.
It's the actuality. It can be anything.
Yeah.
Angels can get depression. I'll tell you that much.
I don't know how to cure that, I'm gonna be honest.
I suggest a therapist first.
Yeah.
all right. Well, knowing that, I think we have a little bit more perspective on this. Thank you, Eamon. Hopefully, we'll be able to bring something to an end.
If you are able to assist Oriel, please let me know.
Yeah.
Or even if you
And
find out knowledge that is less savory, knowing also would be bring closure.
Yeah. I hope it's the former.
As do I.
thank you for your help, and thank you for your help last time, too. I will endeavor to remain unstabbed.
Good luck. It was great to see you, but I would like to not see you in the hospital again.
Is there a
That's
place we
fair.
can meet you outside of the hospital in the future? Or is this going to be the place that we're going to be able to find you?
I'm a pretty private person outside here, so you're best just leaving a message for me here.
Sounds good.
I do need to get back.
Yes, we need to move forward.
And Yi-Moon turns around, heads back to their duties.
Ray looks at Aspen and Lace and is just like, do we?
I don't know.
I mean, we all know what we would do to try and protect someone we care about. Do we try and help Oriel? Do we try and help Dremta to try and bring this to an end?
I think we have to, right? Like, I don't think there's a better option. I mean, for us, there's probably a better option, but I don't think collectively for the good of the world there is a better option here.
Ray holds out a hand to Aspen and is just like very delighted by Aspen's nodding and looks at Lace and is just like, all right, I'm gonna put my rage down. I'll put on
Take
my happy shark hat, and we're gonna go forward.
Is there like a mood shark hat? Because I would buy one of those. You know how some people have the octopi that they turn like inside out when it's like
Oh my
grumpy or
god.
happy? I really like the idea of Ray having a mood.
Yeah,
shark
Ray's
hat.
but Ray's actual happy shark hat is he pulls out this like really decadent crown that has like two moth
Oh my
antennae on
God.
it.
This is your
And
first
just
time
puts it on
seeing
his
it.
head. He's like, all right, let's go.
As Ray goes to pull out the crown, Aspen would kind of just place a hand gently on their forearm and just say, for the record, as we both know, there's still a lot that can be done with that rage. You can hold on to that as long as you would like. And we'll not wait for Ray to respond before walking out the door.
You hear a sigh from Helia.
I would just quietly to Helia, look, I'm getting there, okay? 50-50. That was solid. That was like
You're getting there. You're getting there. You're getting there.
Thank you. That was half-assed for a lot of people, but it was whole-assed for me. Give me a little bit of credit, Helia.
When you're doing 100% of your 50%, that's still 100%.
Thank you.
We're grading Aspen on a curve.
Well, Lace would at least see that Ray looks proud of Aspen. Ray is proud of Aspen. Ray knows how fucking hard this shit is.
I mean, I think that Lace, quite frankly, is impressed that Aspen nodded immediately when
Aspen
she
was
said-
notably silent. This was very much for him, at least, nodding because the group needed him to agree.
Yeah, which
That
is
is
fine.
absolutely
Progress.
I love Aspen so goddamn much. I would die for Aspen.
I will say, I think that Lace does say to Ray and to whoever else is around, by the way, though, I am getting that sword. The sword with Frankie's shard in it. I will extract that by whatever means are necessary.
I'm
You
sure that
should.
if we fix things, we can probably ask for many boons from this person who has attempted to ruin several people's lives.
Aspen,
Yeah.
if you can please tell Lace that once she gets the sword, she should definitely use it at least once against Jemta, because that was very rude what he did.
I will spin around and just say, Helia wants you to stab Dremta, and then spin around and keep walking.
Helia, you are my favorite friend.
All right. So you head back to Ray's house. All right. I have pulled on the blue sun, the misunderstood beast. The value of 0. Notions, cats, clocks, and wind. Meanings, mistakes, gentleness, friendship, danger, and betrayal. The misunderstood beast is a gentle giant, not a murderous monster. It seeks our friendship, not our flesh. Can we see past its physical nature and ascertain its truth? Will we even try? Snap judgments can result in horrific mistakes. We judge something by its appearance or simply by the initial reaction it churns in our heart, but the real truth of a thing can rarely be ascertained so quickly. This misstep can catch us from either direction. We might judge something ugly as evil when it's not, or we might assume someone pleasant is either a friend when they are not. Either way, we are harmed or at least lessened by its result. Green magic is enhanced and pale is hindered. I think when the three of you get back, remind me who is coming to this. Definitely Adastrea, and you're inviting the other people of the heart just in case.
Yes.
Mikkel?
Michael?
Michael.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, good. It's just Michael.
It's just Michael, yeah.
Okay. Okay, and Cicero.
Michael, Cicero, and Adastrea.
Yes.
Okay.
And Varel and Dracera happen to be at Ray's home.
Yeah,
Yeah,
'cause
that's
where
where they
they're
were staying.
So, Sifrona, you would probably be hanging, or at least if you'd be hanging out with the king. Dracera is being an antisocial. They're not being antisocial.
Totally valid.
Aspen, did you give them the stone?
Yes.
Which one did you give them? Which one did you decide to get them?
Aspen likes colorful things, so probably the emerald.
Okay, so Dracera is not there, and
Well-
go ahead.
How pretty is a luster stone?
I don't know what it actually looks like, but it's probably, I'm imagining like a colored opal.
Luster stone.
Luster stone. I'm thinking like of like a seafoam green opal.
Ooh.
Chef's kiss, 10 out of 10. That's the one Aspen went with.
Okay. So if anyone asks where Dracera is actually working on the magic to help Songbird with the luster stone.
Ooh.
But yes. So Sifrona, you are with Varel, who still has not called herself Varel. She is still not given herself a moniker. And actually Michael is there, gets there early.
Ooh.
Michael is this like 5'10" young black man, very, very short hair, dressed like a librarian, like a cozy librarian with like a yellow cardigan and button-down shirt. He has a black cane topped with a silver raven head, glasses, and he's pretty quiet. He's pretty chill. You would know that he's part of the Parasad, basically the magical firefighters of the Vancian Order.
Cool.
I love them. He's cool.
Ray would have left the bridge up to his door this time.
Okay, it would be like down for people to cross.
Yeah,
Okay.
so Michael doesn't have to mess up their shoes.
Yeah. He's pretty personable, very polite. opposite of Emery. At least in vibes. And he would basically be asking how your studies are going. He heard through the grapevine that you made a spell.
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
I don't have it prepped today because, it's not very
Business.
yeah, it's not very, but it lets me see things, what's going on in an area, like, peek around through memories of locations.
If you are willing to teach it to me, I would love to learn it.
Of course. Very exciting. I've never, first one, very excited.
I remember my first spell. It is that pride when you finally make something for your own and then it starts forming and taking place in your body and it's just so excited to be alive from nothing. I love it.
I am like petting the box of the heart like it's like a cat or something, just so you know.
But yeah, the three of you would walk into Ray's home. Varel is here, Saphrona's here, Michael's early.
Mm-hmm. On their way back, Ray has had this very pretty white carnelian flower design thing in his hands, and he's opened it up and he's been sort of staring at this mirror as we've been approaching, and when he arrives back at home, he sort of closes it and looks at everyone and is like, hello.
Aspen would have absolutely stopped along the way. Hey, Ray, you want to share with the class? Aspen's pettiness can easily be cast aside for being nosy. 110% every time Aspen's going to choose to be nosy.
He's very flexible on that.
Yes. You don't want to look at this. Ray would have closed it when Aspen stopped. And it's just this is our insurance policy. So I had a friend summon an angel to make me an item with Songbird's thorn. And it just so happens that if I were to release what I've been putting in here on someone, it would make them feel something very strongly.
Make them feel what?
Well, I've been putting all my loneliness in here.
Got it.
Yeah. Loneliness, grief, all the fear and pain from having to go through all of this.
Aspen looks a little bit impressed.
Yeah, I figure. Maybe if someone understood just how much damage they were doing, maybe they'd stop. Maybe they'd curl over into themselves long enough for me to give them a good whack.
With a sledgehammer, I presume.
Probably.
That's fair. Well, it looks beautiful from what I can see.
Yeah, it definitely makes me think. Definitely makes me think of more flowers that I could mold, different sort of petals are so delicate, and then Ray just starts going into pottery stuff.
Aspen would listen, and there's a little bit of fondness there.
The three of you go inside, and actually, as you are approaching, you actually see Adastrea walking down a side street towards your house. She is dressed very simply, just in black yoga pants and a very, very oversized t-shirt. And she'll wave at the three of you a little nervously.
I was just going to say, Aspen certainly doesn't look her way.
That's
Just
fair.
Ray lights up.
Continues on. Yeah, assumes that Ray and maybe Lace will engage, and Aspen continues on.
She'll catch up at least with Ray and Lace. I hope I'm not late.
No. I think Lace knows who Adastrea is, but has not ever conversed with Adastrea in
I
any
don't-
meaningful way.
I think the
about
last time you
anything.
saw her was maybe just like a hi at the gallery.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Lace knows Adastrea very well, and I also don't think she knows the, like,
She also changed her
Adastrea
appearance
and
last
Ray
time
are
you saw
thing.
her.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I-
So I think Lace is, like, extremely polite in the way that you are when you're not entirely sure who you're talking to, and is just like, it's so nice to see you. It's been so
Fishing for a
long.
name.
I mean, you look great. It's how have you been?
This is so funny. I'm good. It was Lace, right?
Yes, that's right. Yeah, it's been a while. I'm
Since-
not great with names.
Adastrea.
Oh, right, Adastrea. And I think because Lace does know that Aspen does not care for Adastrea. That was clearly communicated in the past. So we'll make like a eyes over to Aspen and then eyes back to Adastrea, and just says, "It is so great that you are here."
Ray is going to intervene. And Ray's going to be like, Lace, I'm so glad that you can finally spend some more time meeting Adastrea, because Adastrea is my very good friend, who
Who will be helping with the summoning today?
yes,
I'm actually gonna go ahead and make the circle. Where's a good place?
well, I've been looking at new places, so I just decided that it was just going to be right there in the viewing room. I've moved all the furniture.
I'm gonna go ahead.
Okay.
It's so nice to see you. I love your shoes. Your shoes are amazing.
She's wearing just dirty sneakers. She goes on ahead.
Lace is committing.
It
I
actually
think
holds
Ray-
the door open for all of you, and then we'll go to you.
Yeah. I think Ray does very sincerely say, "You look really pretty today."
She doesn't say anything, but she just... It's how I get when I don't want to accept compliments. Do we all get that vibe? Okay.
Yeah, I think Lace is trying so hard, but like looks at Aspen to be like, I'm so glad everyone is here. And
Aspen, are you being like pretty open about this?
Yes.
Aspen will walk over and put a hand on Lace's shoulder and say, "I am just as confused as you are, my dear."
As long as we're all in this together, as the song goes.
As much as required of us.
When you enter, none of you saw him enter, but Cicero is here.
I love Cicero.
Cicero is this mask-presenting person wearing a I don't know if it's a trilby or if it's a fedora. One of those like rimmed hats, a brown duster jacket, red hair in a braid, looks very tired. It is just like gives everyone a small awkward wave. And he also has these dark circular glasses on his eyes, but he gives everybody a awkward wave.
Aspen very pointedly waves back and says hello and greets, just not as like to snub Adastrea, literally just like, oh thank God there is somebody else here that I can
There's another
introduce
And
person.
none of y'all have
myself
met
to.
Michael either. It's great.
Yeah.
And
Ray
I-
has some. Sorry, go ahead. Gilly.
No, go for it.
Ray at least has some recognition with Michael because of like yeah, and it's just very, very excited to say, "Oh, hello!" And it's just sort of like flitting between everything. Thank you for being here. Please understand that the reason that you're here is because we're dealing with something full full. We're dealing with someone who is struggling.
Did you tell them why you needed someone from each heart?
I don't think Ray. I think Ray would have been like, "We have to tell them why they are
Safrona
here."
would have told Michael.
Okay.
You know, she's the
Yeah,
conduit.
and I
She would have said that much.
Lace would have made sure that Cicero knew. I don't think she wants people to come into this without knowing.
Yeah, so they all agreed knowing what you were asking and if you explain the entire situation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think my furniture will defend you as ardently as I will. And I think if Cicero is sitting on a chair, like it like hops up beneath him. Like,
No, he was leaning against a wall.
Okay, damn.
Gotta be cool.
Maybe the chair hops closer to be of service.
Yes.
So Michael pipes up. Safrona did tell me everything that was going on, and I trust her to where this wouldn't be an option unless it was an incredibly dangerous situation.
It is so great to see you again. Lace has never met this person in her life. It is so great that you are here. You look amazing. I am so happy that we can see each other again.
Everyone's gesturing at Lace.
Ray does say, "Just stop. Please, it's okay. It's okay if you don't know these people."
I mean, Lace knows Cicero. Cicero is the only one that Lace is certain of. All these other people, I don't know.
Is there space, Ray, in your home to like wherever the summoning circle is happening? Is there space to be away from that, or are we kind of all dancing around?
There is space to be away from it.
Okay.
Do understand that you are a necessary part of the actual spell if we do have to cast it, though.
Begrudgingly, Aspen understands.
You are the only gallant that we have.
You could have asked another gallant to be here. You have Emery, you have Ray.
Oh, absolutely not. Aspen wants the glory of it, and a little part of him is very selfishly just like, I'm the only one who could do this. So,
but also Emery.
It's just hanging out for no reason.
The rest of the group could have asked. Aspen absolutely would not.
You could have also asked Yasser, who is also a gallant.
That's
that entire trio. It's fine.
It's 2 gallants plus Michael.
It's a bit of lore. I almost made Safrona stoic, just as a.
That's very funny.
Lore drop.
Can I, Mare, either during this time or on the way back or something? I would like to stop by, and I'm assuming that I got my new, I forget the order of the words, but my new ability.
Yes.
My new forte ability, like sometime during downtime.
Yes.
I would like to go purchase maybe like 2 more emotion leaves.
Sure.
If I am allowed.
You can get some emotion leaves.
Thank you. I was going to leave during this if we were all like dancing around each other, but I'll just say that I got them already.
Yeah, that's fine. Easy.
I am talking to the heart. I'm not casting my spell. I'm just talking to it like it's a cat. You're just full cat mode on this.
You're just like talking to it?
Yeah. Not using my spell, just talking directly to it.
What are you saying?
Stuff like, oh, it'll be okay. I know everything's like all, kind of sticky and wet because... Is this like seawater or is this like regular water, actually?
It's fresh water.
Fresh water, okay.
It's not seawater.
Okay.
Do we know of a freshwater source in Fartown?
Not in Fartown.
In Saturnine.
But there are lakes in Saturnine in general, yes. There's actually a whole district which is called Quiet Lake, which is a district that is on a lake. That's actually one of my favorite districts.
Probably apologize to it for having to lick it to figure this out. That's how she would have done it. Like, straight up licked it.
Like put your fingers in the water and like
nope.
No, you licked.
That's not how she's gonna do it. She's gonna lick it.
She geologist it. She's like,
yeah.
Oh my god.
She'll apologize for that. You know, she doesn't. Her brains are not in that department.
I love her so much.
I will say this about each of your characters this game, I think, but I would die for Sophrona.
Cicero, when you asked, when you asked or when Ray asked on behalf of you, kind of almost immediately agreed and just like nodded his head.
Yeah, I mean, I think Lace anticipates that given Cicero's profession, like, this is, I mean, it's risky and weird, but that's sort of where Cicero thrives, so, you know.
Cicero is walking a razor's edge between indigo and gray every single fucking day. Sometimes you can't worry about morals when you're kind of yanking people from Shadow who may be running from the law and doing something illegal. Like, you just gotta fucking do it.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Treacle is here, and
Hi,
he
baby.
is trawling my room for things to chew on. A baby.
Eventually, maybe after like anywhere between 10 and 20 minutes, Adastrea pops her head out of the, I think you said it was the viewing room. I'm all set with the circle, and I'm ready to summon when the rest of y'all are. I'm just doing the summoning. I figured whatever beef y'all have with this angel, it's gonna be all y'all doing it.
Yeah. We just need to call them here and we can talk. And Ray says talk in a decidedly non-talking fashion.
Do you have your sledgehammer on you?
Yes, on his belt.
Talk. Right. She looks at the sledgehammer, looks at you, and then looks at everyone else. Aspen, roll me a perception check. Or insight. Or an interaction or perception roll. Actually, anyone who wants to can. This is
Yeah.
juice. This is
If it's juicy, I'm using 3 bene on
it's
it.
tea. It's not okay.
I'm
It's
used to-
not. It's
Oh,
not
that went
3
up.
bene juicy.
I missed the one thing with Adastrea that I wanted to know. Anytime you have me roll something with her, I'm like, fucking go all in.
Okay, fine.
Okay, I'll use one. I'll use one.
It's a 7 for me.
I rolled so badly.
That was a 6 on the dice, so a 7 total for
Okay.
me.
Did anyone else roll?
I think Sophrona rolled?
Sophrona, just Sophrona and Aspen.
I rolled, but it was not worth mentioning.
0.
It was a 1.
Okay, and then Ray is not.
No, I don't think Ray
Would?
I don't
That's
think
okay.
Ray would.
Okay.
But I'm just happy to hear what happens with everybody else
Okay,
and not
cool.
metagame with that knowledge.
So Aspen and Sophrona, you would notice that Adastrea is not looking at Aspen at all.
Tracks. Aspen's not looking at Adastrea either.
This would be like something like out of the corner of your eye then that you would also be noticing. Like,
There is a brief moment where it looks as though Aspen is like squaring their shoulders, like not in the I'm gonna swing way, but just in the way that you all have seen of like, I'm going to present myself as very sociable and very engaging in the very fake way that you all have gotten familiar with, almost as though they're going to talk to Adastrea, and then just kind of shrugs and like almost brushes it off physically. But
she's not worth my attention.
yep.
All right. Are y'all ready?
Yes.
Okay. So all of you, the entire group, go back to Ray's viewing room, which All the furniture has been moved to the outside, as Ray already mentioned, and Adastrea has put down a pretty large protective circle because she doesn't know how big this thing is that you're summoning. So she made it like decently large, but with just enough room for anyone to like not be close to it, and also situated in a way where everyone has a clear shot to the door, just in case, because yeah, she's been notified that it's a dangerous situation. All right, are y'all ready?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Anyone who would like to interact with this angel, maybe get like a couple feet away from the edge of the barrier. Ray, you've done this a million times. You know how this works. But anyone who is not a goetic, be near Ray, about the same distance Ray is from it. Because but sometimes they can get out, depending on their strength. And since I've never interacted with this entity before, I have no idea how strong it is. Or if I'll be able to summon it in the first place. And also sometimes they can throw metaphysical punches, so to speak.
It's threatened me with fire before, so...
Yeah, but from what you told me, that was... y'all weren't in circles.
That's fair.
All right.
Before she starts, how do I use my testament ability?
It is at will.
At will. Okay. Can I use the second one that you just gave me, the future leaks into the present, to give myself a +1 on...
Go ahead.
I don't know which one of these is most likely. I'm going to say dodge.
Okay. You may.
I'm going to cast my Sign Against the Legacy.
You may do so. Yeah, yours was my favorite this time around for the ability.
Future leaks into present's a great name.
It's very Sophrona. Because all the testament abilities, like, they can be anything, but it usually has to be, like, to who your character is. They can't, like, I can't give Sophrona, like, the disgorgeous creature, like, vibes, you know?
Yeah. All right, that +1 dodge.
Okay. So, Adastrea begins her summoning. It is like any other summoning you have seen. There is some small chanting, there are some hand movements, and that surge of magic. And what happens is inside this circle, you all feel wind. You all feel damp. Like, it's not bog damp, it is like water damp. And almost as if birds are flying backwards or being sucked up into wind as that they are trying to fly out of. Hundreds of porcelain ravens kind of appear and are swarmed and pulled into this summoning circle. And they take the shape of a familiar creature, which I only think Ray and Sophrona at this point have... Ray and Sophrona at this point have seen. I don't think Aspen and Lace have seen them. This tallish, though they're not tall at the moment, angel made out of white porcelain. Their wings, which you haven't seen them previously, but they are tightly folded against their back. This long raven head and beak out in front of them. It's more skull-like than actual bird-like, and you see the two black sockets where eyes would be, and this gaping hole in their chest. They are crouched down on the ground on one knee as they are summoned. And as they appear somewhere where they previously were not, there is a brief sense of confusion, of turning around of the head, surprise, and then panic and anger. What was wrong with you? And you all hear this tinkling voice, almost like chimes in your heads and your beings. And Ray, it's speaking in its angelic tongue, but you all like feel the words press upon you, even though you can't understand angel. You need to let me go back right now. And it, like, stands up. And its wings are sprayed wide. Like it's gonna ram, and they're they're tensing.
Why, tell us what's happening.
It turns to you, Sophrona. You've seen the heart. Let me go.
So I just...
No! Release the spell. And
Take us with you.
someone make some kind of check for me, please.
I feel like Ray is like
You got
with
it.
all the goetic audacity is take us with you.
I was about to say similar there.
And this is going to be,
Yeah.
of course, interaction, because that's what goetics are good at. And I'm going to use 3 bene for this.
Yeah.
I don't think the card is in everyone's favor right now, so.
Oh, you mean a card that I can?
It's not,
Not care
it's not negative. Oh wait, no, it's an ardent. No, it is good for you.
Oh, okay, because I was about to be like, I have something
Nope.
that says I can ignore the soothe card.
We are so ardent, y'all.
You're so ardent.
I will say Sophrona is holding the box like in front of her chest.
Yeah, its eyes are glued to you.
So 5 plus 3 plus 1 because it's ardent.
Yes.
9.
It turns to you, like whipping its head around and there's like a big gust of wind as its wings like turn very quickly. I told you that this was your last chance and not to get involved. And now you want me to listen to you and take you with me.
Well, obviously,
That is
what you're doing
correct.
hasn't been working.
I want to help.
Doesn't seem like Oriel's doing too good anyway.
You think we're annoying to you. Imagine how annoying we could be to the people who are annoying you.
That's fair. Mayor thinks that's a fair argument. But
It's just logic. It's pragmatism.
make one more check. Someone.
Who, me?
Either
I-
Lace or Sophrona.
Yeah, one of you two.
I'll spend 2 bene? 2 bene feels right.
Are you going to spend any hidden knowledge or anything else like that?
I can spend. I rolled already. Can I spend hidden knowledge?
I'll let
Or
you do
no?
it this time since I asked right as you were rolling.
Okay. Yeah, sure. I will do that. I have to explain what the hidden knowledge is, right?
Mhm.
I think that this is more like a Weaver thing, and I wonder. You can tell me if this is completely off base, but I wonder if this is like Lace picking up on the distress in the magic, right? Like, this is not just a like, I'm mildly annoyed things aren't going my way. Like, there is genuine, at least from what I'm reading, like bone deep distress there. And
Oh,
I
yeah.
think that Lace
As you're
is
picking up on
pulling
that,
it.
like if you're looking at their face, where the sockets are, there are cracks falling and cracking underneath the socket down the front of their face on both sides.
Yeah. And I rolled a 9 on the die.
Oh,
plus
yeah,
2
yeah.
plus 1, so it's pretty good.
Y'all that have seen it and interact with it are seeing this thing falter for the first time. You want to help someone who has been trying to kill you. I just want to make sure I'm hearing that correctly.
Well, we're sort of hoping that if we help you, you'll stop trying to kill us. Also, I want the sword, to be clear.
You don't see the sword on it, by the way.
But I know the sword exists.
Yeah, you do know the sword exists.
It's not the first time, I guess. We're kind of running up the chain here. Did you see my note? I wrote you a note.
I did see your note.
You wrote them a note?
Doesn't matter.
And that's how I saw the heart and its condition that it's in.
Yeah, I was hoping. I thought you might want to see that, because I saw that you were.
Nosy little Visley.
I mean, I was very honest when I wrote it. I did say that I hoped that the both of you could be well. And, well, it does seem that you need help, as the others have said.
If I take you with me, if you get in the way or mess it up, I will follow through on the promise I said to your big friend over there.
Absolutely welcome to try.
Fine. You can come. But you need to pull your weight, and I will leave you behind.
Oh.
I have one more question. Would you like a piece of cheese?
No.
Fuck.
Before you even finished asking.
That was a great question.
I legitimately thought Julie was about to like bust this shit wide open, and then I got slapped with.
Do you want some cheese?
I mean, I'm going. Listen, Lace has a modus operandi.
Dremta turns their attention to Adastrea. Drop the circle. And Adastrea looks over to the three of you because she's still not looking at Aspen and like is asking for yes, no, approval? Question mark?
I think Ray looks, and with all the stupid sweetness, idiot man smile he has,
so goofy.
He's like, it's gonna be okay.
And she'll smudge out some of the summoning circle. And this barrier that you've all just like felt in the room drops.
I think as soon as it drops, because of what Dremta said, like the large living room window that looks out into the bog snaps open. To like give Dremta a place to eat grass.
They do not.
Oh damn it.
They do not leave. They do not flee.
Aspen has been very quiet, and if anybody was paying attention to them, you would see that the gears in his head are turning. But he is not saying anything to anybody. And then all of it plays out. And Aspen loves a flair for the dramatic, so this is giving him life. But as it all plays out, he'll just look to Jumpton and say, okay, where are we going?
Get your life vests. We're going to Quiet Lake.
I will need to change my shoes.
All right. We're going to go to break, everybody.
Yeah.
Just a couple minutes early. Everyone, please stretch, pet your pets, and we will be back shortly. Bye. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. We are back from break, where the group summoned Dremta, and they are panicked, and they're panicking, angry for being summoned and being pulled away from whatever they were doing. and have been released from the summoning circle with the reluctant agreeing of letting the party help. Dremta told you all to get life jackets and that we're going to the Quiet Lake. And they stride past you and say, I'll be waiting near your front door. And they will leave. Everyone else, all the NPCs in the room are just, a couple are like doing glances at each other and be like, what the hell just happened? This is not going way we were told. Some are unfazed and or just leaning against the wall, like Cicero is nonplussed.
I just assume Cicero's already asleep again.
Cicero
in my mind.
Cicero is not sleeping, but they seem to be prepped for just about anything. Like, nothing has fazed them so far. And actually, the king is here as well. She's been, like, popping her head in and was also listening to this whole thing. Adestroya turns to y'all and like, do you need any help? Do you need assistance? And the king pops up too. I also offered my assistance as well if you needed it.
I think Lace's inclination is to be like a protective no, but I think Lace will be like, and kind of look at the group.
I think we're about to go on a rescue mission.
I
To
feel
Quiet Lake.
at this point it's less our option of who else cuts to come.
That's very true.
Cicero pipes up. I will make it easy for you. I will not go. I will prep on bringing Frankie back when you succeed and get their shard back. And he nods his hat down at all of you. I'll take my leave. And Cicero
Lace
leaves.
waves. Cicero is so cool.
Yeah.
Just like
Their
I think
eyes
Lace
are
says
creepy,
that
though.
out loud.
Their eyes are creepy.
Serena will tell Michael, it's like, I don't know, if anything happens to me, what happened, the schedule's the whole thing,
Can't you breathe underwater?
I can. I don't know what else is down there, though. I can't.
You all are resourceful. I think you'll be okay.
I am not quite so resourceful. If anybody in this room can help me to breathe underwater, I would not be opposed.
Wait, let me look. I might be able to make something happen, but it would be very annoying.
I
I don't want to be an inconvenience.
No. I'm talking for me as for you, as well as you. It's not.
Michael just kind of shrugs and is like, I can come if you'd like me to, but I am handy in emergencies, but also if it's a rescue mission, you might want to limit on who you're taking.
Yeah, I also genuinely feel that it's not up to me to invite additional people. The angel doesn't seem very happy that we're coming, so I don't think we want to.
That was a tense situation.
Yeah. I don't think I want to overstay the very small amount of patience we're getting now.
I think we're owed a little bit more patience than we're being showed, but I am choosing to be gracious.
If we have time, I will go ask William.
You
If
don't
my
have
ears-
time. You do not have time.
Wasn't sure what the general vibe was. Aspen is never really in a hurry, and Kian can't
Yeah.
read the room like that, so I wanted to double
Oh yeah, you do not have the time to pop over to Williams. Like, Williams is not next door.
I mean, we can always just deal with it when we get there. I may be able to weave something if we have to breathe underwater, but I would rather not do it in advance if I don't.
Oh, absolutely.
I think
I'll
Ray
take my
looks.
chances.
If everything is settled with Michael and while everybody else is getting sorted, I think Sophronia will go hang out with Dripto by the front door.
They are such an intense energy. A coiled spring of anxiousness when you walk up next to them.
She will just hold the box up. I imagine so much taller, just like here, I think.
Are you like offering it to them?
Yeah, I'm offering it while everybody else is doing this.
They pause. They turn their head with their long beak and like look down at you and at the box. And very tenderly and gently take the box from you and open it and look down at it. And then the box disappears.
Ray does look at the king and accidentally says, Thorel, sorry, the king. Your Majesty. No, friend?
Is that the term I gave myself before?
Yeah.
Of course I would name myself that. Or decide to go by that name. Term. I like it.
What's it mean?
It is a term in Emerin that roughly loosely translates to where the heart is or where the heart longs to be.
That does seem like you.
I like it. I'll have to tell Drosera they can stop calling me Your Highness.
Fantastic.
But yes,
I
you were saying.
would like. I think that this group, we should make consideration that we are probably going to bring another person back. So keeping the group small would be smart. If things go badly, I would really enjoy if you could take care of Songbird, so maybe, or at least help them get started on being someplace safe.
I will take care and look after them as if they were one of my own.
You. And then Ray looks at Estrella, and I think, can I vibe check now? Now that even if that dove off the table. That's an 8.
Yeah, you can tell that she's not looking at Aspen whatsoever.
Yeah, Ray's sort of like, Ray walks towards Estrella and is just like, are you going to be okay?
I think I should be asking you that. I'm not the one walking into gosh knows where.
Well, despite me wanting to make sure that Songbird is taken care of, I really do think things are going to be okay.
Y'all are a very resourceful group.
Yeah.
She'll reach out and like put her hand on your arm and give it like a squeeze. Be careful, okay?
Yeah. We have to do our charcuterie.
I'll consider that a promise. Good luck to all of you.
And we can talk about other stuff later. And Ray sort of like puts a hand over hers, squeezes, and then steps away. And it's just like, I think we should go.
Okay.
I will.
Go ahead.
I would like for Aspen to be the last one out.
Sure.
I would like to check in with Helia.
Sure. Adestrea's back is to you. She's cleaning up her mess with the circle.
Yeah. No worries. I would stop her from leaving if she tries to leave before I do.
So she made a big circle and she made a mess. She's gonna be.
She made a big circle.
She made a big circle and big mess.
I do want to check in with Helia. This is probably going to be a lot. Is there anything I can do to? I don't know how I would help, aside from staying alive. But
Are you talking to Helia?
yes.
Well, I think you're more resourceful than what you give yourself credit for.
Okay, well now I'm getting mixed signals because before I was giving myself too much credit.
You gotta find the right middle ground, okay?
I will do my best. I'm glad that I have you with me for this.
If you need help, I am here. I will do what I can. Okay?
Thank you. And then I will pass near where Adastrea is, and I will not look at her, and will just say, I know we have our differences. I promise that I will make sure Ray makes it back safely. And then I will walk out the door.
Yeah. Like, she paused in her cleaning when you said that. But just so, you know.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
Neither of us wanted that to happen, but Aspen needed to say it.
Okay. The rest of you meet Dremta near the front door, where they have been waiting. Their wings have been, like, twitching. And they start striding off towards the hollows to get on the train, to take the train to Quiet Lake. And I am imagining it is the most awkward train ride to Quiet Lake ever. Because they can fly there, but y'all can't.
I was just going to say, this is such a mundane way for Dremta to travel.
They swarmed in a bunch of porcelain birds.
Oh, God.
It's so awkward. They say nothing. So do you have anything to say to Dremta?
I think at one point Aspen would absolutely say something along the lines of, you couldn't just transport all of us?
No.
You know, we've been pretty scared of you for a while, but you don't seem that tough up close.
Do you want me to throw more porcelain birds at you and skewer you again?
It's just, I'm just making sure you were worried about us being up for it. I'm making sure that you're up for it.
Say, that was a personal attack.
Don't take it personally. I've skewered several people.
I feel like that isn't a good enough reason to use the word skewer when referring to a human.
Don't know what to tell you. I really don't.
Well, I think we are making great progress here.
Yeah.
So, like, all of this was because of, like, something being held over your head, or, like, is this, like, something you kind of believe in, or...
No, I don't believe in taking away the actuality.
I mean, you can understand our confusion.
Yeah. I can. But if, like, your best friend or more was, like, kidnapped and then hung over your head, and wouldn't you want to do anything to help them too? Or at least to make sure they keep living?
I'm sorry. What, the people that we love, having things done to them? Who could possibly imagine what that would be like?
Yeah. So I'm sure you can relate.
I don't think you had to go that far in order to get us to relate to your experience. There's a thing called empathy. You could just be like, hey, Lace, by the way, you look amazing today. Also, can you help me with
I have
this
no
thing
sense
that
of
I have?"
human fashion and beauty. I'm sorry.
Well, trust me, I
Do you-
would have looked great in that hypothetical world.
Ray's gonna ask something kind of violent. He's like, you don't have friends?
No, not anymore.
I see. Oriel does.
Yeah. They do.
So... God, you're lonely.
You're
Ray,
one to talk.
Yeah, I know.
Exactly.
I'm one to talk. I was gonna use loneliness on you to try and make you see that you're a dick, but it's not gonna work.
I love this conversation so much.
I feel like we all have a lot in common here. You know, personality-wise. Just saying.
Ray looks offended.
Yeah, we're all a little fucked. Yeah, I get it. I understand.
She's like literally sitting, like kicking her feet. Like she's like, yeah, this is fun. Like everybody's on the same page. This is great.
You're so nonchalant. I love it.
Oh my goodness.
Any other questions? While we wait for this frickin' train.
Is there anything that we can expect? Anything that we should know before we go fisticuffs, possibly, with this demon?
Do you really think I was going to try and sneak in when the demon was there?
I thought you could transport all of us. I am not very expectant of
Well,
what
it
you can do
shows
at
how
this point.
much knowledge you actually have and the assumptions you make.
Assume that I know nothing. Enlighten me anyway. What should we
Cool.
expect?
Wet, water, a maze. After that, I don't know.
Oh, we're actually really good at mazes. Like Aspen like defeated a maze like the first time that we all hung out like really intensely.
Had some help with that, but I don't have help. I don't have access to that anymore, but I appreciate the vote of confidence.
I'm still here.
Yes, darling, you are. But I was able to see my footprints when we went through that maze.
Who the hell are they talking to?
It's just like a thing that they do.
Like someone who's like much kinder than you.
Yeah, that's not hard.
I think when Jumpta
You're
says
muted,
that,
Elise.
Aspen.
Oh, I just said that's a very low bar, in fairness.
I think
They
when
don't
Jumpta
disagree.
said that,
They don't disagree.
Aspen was very quick to very coldly. None of your fucking business. Because as much as we are on the same page, Aspen does not want Jumpta interacting with Delia. But would, yes, continue on the conversation. Aspen is taking a step back.
As I was saying, we're heading to Quiet Lake. I don't know if any of you have been to Quiet Lake. You would all know as Quiet Lake is an actual lake with floating islands on it. And this is where a lot of rich people go to buy houses. Because in order to buy a house here, you actually have to kind of buy a whole island. But there is a lake. And they also mentioned a maze. You would all know that there is a part of the district that is very maze-like. Also, there's an underwater opera here, too. So all I know, because I was looking previously.
Two above the table questions. How long does this take? This trip? Actually, we'll just do that one question. I don't know why I said two.
Where the flippity floppity is my Saturnine map. So y'all are from the Hollows to Quiet Lake. Oh, it is very short. It's one district over. We're talking like a 30-minute trip at most.
Cool. Okay, no follow-up questions.
However, you don't know how long it's going to take, but you could, if you wanted to switch out spells, maybe do something. Like you start now.
Nah.
Okay.
So I would need a lot longer than that because I would need to switch them twice. Because I don't have 1000th word prepped. So forget it, never mind.
It's okay. There is a maze. I tracked Oriel to the maze in Quiet Lake. That's all I know.
So Frona,
Yes.
can't you sort of see where like Oriole is?
I cannot. I can see where my enemies are, but I can't see, like, people on purpose.
Okay.
You get a side eye when you say
I mean-
enemies.
I mean, I can see where I've been before, but I've not been here. I can see many things, but I have not learned to check on people in general.
Understood.
If you don't have anything else to say to Drumpta, it is still a remaining awkward trade ride. And
I think Lace
Yeah.
is just like, you can see that Lace is just like really tempted to start arguing because Dremta brought up the stabbing and brought up the Frankie thing, and Lace is mad now. Lace wasn't as mad before, but Dremta brought it up, and now she's annoyed.
fair. But
I
they're
think
done
Ray
talking.
would- I think Ray would like sort of like nudge Lace and be like, "Should we ask about the?"
He knows I want the sword.
Yeah, but where is it? Where is the sword?
Somewhere safe.
I don't like that answer.
I can access it whenever I want. It's
Great.
a pocket dimension for the closest terminology.
Great, give me the sword, thanks.
No, because then you have no continued incentive to help me. Because that's what you
I'm
want.
here, what am I gonna do, just leave?
You can, yeah. After you get back on the train and head back.
This is why you have no friends.
I'm
Yeah.
fine with it as long as Oriel's okay.
Except if you had like people that you could talk to, you could have gotten help to find Oriel like however long ago when they first went missing, probably.
No,
Can I, what?
because when I start talking, then Oriel gets stabbed.
Can I, while everybody's arguing, cast Vision of the Nemesis, like, as a broad general to see if I can pick up anybody that might be, like...
You may. You can go into your little trance. I pulled a card. This is my next card, right? Revealing knife. So for the first time since you have been casting this spell, you no longer see Dremta, because that would just be like a waste of a spell if you cast it and then like you just see Dremta sitting like one row over.
Dremta has not been, like, in her mind on the enemies list ever since she saw the previous one about the, when she had previously cast this and had seen Dremta, like, really, like, anxious and looking for the heart. I think, like, she has mentally removed him from the enemies list, like, way back when.
And you see a creature, which you can probably almost really quickly clock as not human. An assumption is a demon. They are fairly humanoid shaped, and they're kind of reminding you of a type of lacuna, which in Invisible Sun, lacuna are these like portals of space that can lead to other places. Like they're humanoid cutouts leading to somewhere else. Like one can lead to the other side of Saturnine or another sun, and you would just see that inside the cutout. But instead of like seeing another location, you just kind of see wisps of blackness and void. Think Black 3.0 or Black is Black.
Yeah.
That where just there's no light whatsoever. But they're more corporeal than just a cutout in space. And they are talking to someone you can't see.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna keep that to myself because it doesn't seem useful to anybody at this time.
eventually you make it to the Quiet Lake District. And as the train was getting closer and closer, some of the windows are open in the train, and you just feel this cool breeze. And eventually it stops, and you are dropped off near the lake. And you see all these houses out on the water on these islands that are floating upon the top. You see near the lake shore these really tall tree-sized mushrooms. And a small little rental shack for boats. Dremta immediately disembarks and begins making their way to the little shed with all the boats.
Boat episode.
Is there like a really like a really nice boat, like a fast one, or are they all like very small boats?
So what you see are single person skiffs, rowboats, and like 10 people barges. Are you following Dremta?
Well, yeah.
As you approach, they look at you and look at the person behind the counter, who is just a medium, like average height, like 5'7", tan skinned man with like really dark hair pulled in like a back ponytail, who seemed to just like briefly finish like a short talk with Dremta. And Dremta looks at the four of you. Where we're going can't fit a barge, so we either need skiffs or rowboats. Regardless, it's a 4-person rowboat, and I don't think all 5 of us are going to fit in one. Especially with... And they kind of like incline their head at you, right? Because you're a big boy. It's just fact.
Yeah. I mean, do you know where we're going?
I do.
Can you point it out to me?
They point southeast-ish. You can't see
Okay.
You can't see it from here.
I can fly.
Flying isn't going to help you. Or else
Well,
I
I can
would
fly
be going.
towards the area, and then... I don't know. Actually, you're right.
So, there is a maze here. The maze on each of the islands have walls, really tall, creating waterways. And a lot of the waterways are covered. Or else I would be flying my ass in there.
Okay. Ooh.
Do you all want to manually row, or do you want a powered boat?
What was his second one?
Powered. Like it'll
mean,
it'll drive itself, or at least you
I
don't
would
have to row.
prefer- I would prefer not to row if given the opportunity.
Are those
Whatever's faster.
the single person boats?
No, those are the skiffs, rowboats, and barges have regular rowing ones and powered ones. So there's both
I understand.
options. Yeah.
Okay.
I hope you have crystal, because you are going to have to pay this.
I do have crystal. I have crystal that I haven't used for anything but as a hammer in so long. I'm so ready there.
Powered boats make sense to me
Yeah,
too.
Ray's like, if I'm heavy,
Yeah.
I'll take a powered skiff, and then the 4 of you lighter can go. How much is it?
So you're getting a skiff and 2 rowboats. This is what it sounds like. I mean, sorry, a
thought there
skiff
was
and a
4 person.
rowboat. Skiff
Yes.
Okay. So a skiff is going to be a 10 crystal rental fee, and a rowboat is going to be a 25 crystal fee. But Abbeth, the person that's behind the counter, also requires a refundable deposit equal to the rental fee.
Okay.
So it'll be 70 total. You'll get 35 back if you return the boats. No, you cannot buy them.
Yeah, Ray has 675
Yeah.
crystal.
I was gonna say, like, all of us except Aspen have a lot of money.
I'm still doing okay, but I dropped 150 crystal for that luster stone for them, so I
Yeah.
will
Yeah.
You had a
If-
cheaper option.
I did. I didn't know until I looked it up. I was just like, oh, whatever's prettiest, and tracks.
That's
honestly.
that's your hubris.
Yep.
Yeah, no, Ray like opens up like his like duct tape wallet, and like crystal orbs start popping out of it, and just sort of like, eh.
Thank you for your business. Good luck. Don't get lost. Also, reminder, since it sounds like it's your first time here, sound carries.
I don't like that reminder.
Yeah.
That gives me anxiety.
And like,
Why would we need to know that?
and like the lake is incredibly quiet. It is incredibly serene and tranquil. There are barely any ripples upon the surface of the water.
Ray looks at Dremta and is like, "Give me a bird that's part of your body.
Only if you explain why.
I can talk to you telepathically without having to speak if I have touch on you."
Fine. And one porcelain bird begins to like mold and like melt and protrude from its shoulder and like pops over to you.
Yeah, I think Ray just sort of like puts it like in his like shirt.
Don't get too comfortable.
This is so uncomfortable. I don't know what you're talking about. And Finnair just sort of like goes around this bird like a couple times and then just like settles as if it was like a physical entity on top of the bird. Finnair might get comfortable.
Fine. And like Dremta will pick up the rowboat and bring it over to the side of the lake and put it in.
I put a skiff.
Who's gonna sit with next to Dremta?
Aspen is.
Dremta's gonna go there. It'll be Lace and Safrona in the front and Ray on the skiff. Okay. Okay, I'll start leading the way.
While we are moseying our way over, quietly, apparently, I would also like to quietly ask Dremta, you ever made a soul before?
Well, shit. It looks down at you, giving you like the most disdainful look. Excuse me?
Just a question.
Yeah, well, it's a very pointed question coming out of nowhere from someone who obviously has other agendas.
Yeah, well,
You're not very subtle.
never was. You don't have to answer it if you don't want to. Just figured I'd ask.
No. I have not.
All right.
Yeah, you're one shifty motherfucker.
Aspen would smile at that.
As you ask that, though, Helia is like, Aspen, would you like to explain yourself?
I am not looking or responding to Helia either.
Oh, are you seriously going to play the cold shoulder game?
Aspen smiles a little at that too, but otherwise doesn't respond.
You are such a child. Sometimes I really wish I could talk to Ray and Safrona and Lace and, oh my gosh.
At that, Aspen will turn and say, and darling, every day I'm grateful that you can.
There
It's
might
just
be
a
one
question.
person I can talk to, though.
Do I know who she's talking about?
No.
Fair is fair. Aspen will not ask, since I did not talk to Helia before talking to Dremta. but I will say, it's just a question. Just something I'm curious about. I promise I will not act on it without taking your very valuable considerations. I promise.
You don't just ask questions without reason.
Let's get through this first.
And the skiff and the rowboat quietly glide through the streets, the waterways of Quiet Lake. The rowboat, with Sophrona and Lace in the front, and Aspen and Dremta in the back, followed by Ray, is following behind. And they navigate past what looks like a bathhouse into the more open area center of the lake, because a lot of the buildings in the streets are on the outside, and then they begin making veering left and begin following that towards, in the far distance, walls and walls emerging from islands of another part of the district. And as you get closer, you do see like a sign. I'll see a sign peeking up above the lake that just says the Submerged Opera. You don't hear any music, but there is an opera here, an opera house. And eventually, they begin leading you down these waterways with these tall, tall, tall stone walls on every island raising into the sky. There are trees and tree branches covering the top, giving it a very partially claustrophobic vibe, cutting off any other parts of the district. It's like you are somewhere else completely. And you begin making your way down streets upon streets into what quickly is a maze. Is there anything you would like to do as you make your way down the streets?
I'd like to send Finnair down like an opposite direction to see, like, to cover more ground, pretty much, because Finnair can just fly and be in different places and like come back.
Yeah, Finnair flies down one of the mazes, one of the sides of the maze, quickly comes back and just kind of shakes its head. And you're familiar, you can speak. It doesn't really speak verbally, but it can. But it mostly talks to you in your head.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of walls. Not sure where to go. There's like a couple gates every once in a while for houses. Very big houses.
I think it like Ray is sort of like speaking back mentally, and it's just like, I'm looking for someone close to this one, and points at Dremta.
It shakes its head. Just a little backflip in the air.
There. Okay, well, if you hear pain, I suppose, can you alert me to it?
Yeah.
Just be on the... Okay.
I do want to ask Helia. I know the last time we were in a maze, it got a little overwhelming. How confidently do you think you could move through this one and find your way back?
Not very.
Okay.
If only because I can't walk on water.
Okay.
All right. as you all continue to make your way down the maze, I want to pull another card quickly before I continue. I have pulled on the the Pale Sun, the Empty Gallows, a value of 3, and notions, cats, clocks, and wind. Meanings: rescue, salvation, solution, favorable judgment, and escape. How the fuck does the deck know?
I mean, I'll take it.
The gallows claim no victory today. Today we are granted a reprieve, or we make an escape, or someone rescues us. Whatever the reason, the threat is gone. The problem is solved. The empty gallows brings a feeling of relief, of gratitude, of newfound purpose. It is a sudden extension of life. The empty gallows serves as the location card of the Notions family. Pale magic is enhanced, green is hindered, doubly so because it's played on the Pale Sun. The 5 of you are making your way down one of these long alleys or streets of the waterways. It kind of seems like Dremta knows where they're going. Like once or twice you do need to backtrack a little bit, but if you're looking very, very closely, you see that they are following what looks like scratch marks. Like white marks on some of the stone walls. But it does come to a certain point where they are guessing at, because it looks like you might have summoned them midway through the maze last time. And all of a sudden, you feel the boats rocking underneath you. As you know, when there is a tsunami and the water recedes, the water gets really low for a split second before all of a sudden there is a huge wave pushing both of your boats down this waterway. I need everyone to please make me a withstand roll, please.
Okay.
Oh, could I? Because it ended every scene, I would have at the beginning my testament ability again. I would have put it in dodge.
Yeah, that's
that's
completely fair. Yeah, you can use that.
Yeah, it would have been in dodge.
And to be fair, like dodge is the one that's most commonly used.
Yeah.
So I don't blame you.
I forgot to say that.
So yeah, please everyone make a withstand roll.
Because it's withstand, we can't argue that maybe having some boating prowess might add to your roll.
Yes, you may.
Oh, sweet. It's a 6.
This is also a physicality roll. So if you want to
this is the finale. I'll use 3 bene to make it a 9.
This is truly karma, because I have 1 in physicality and I can't use it because I'll hit 0, right? That's a thing.
No, you can go above 10. It's only a 0 when you roll a 0.
It probably won't make a difference, though.
Also, a reminder, if you're using bene, you need to use the bene before you roll.
Okay, it's fine.
Then it's just
can
a
I
6.
use hidden knowledge after, or no? Too late.
No, everything needs to be rolled. You need to build the venture first and then go from there.
Rolled an 8.
I also rolled a 4.
Wow.
Hey.
Throw me out of this boat. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
No, please don't.
So Sifrona, Dremta, and Ray, you watch as Lace and Aspen are thrown from the boat right off the side. Actually, you're all thrown out forward off the boat, and you all land and hit the water hard. And I'm actually gonna say, y'all, Aspen and Lace, you both take a damage as the rowboat hits you.
Ow.
And then the skiff, Ray, goes above you, and you are both in the water. It is cold. It is wet. You can't see the bottom, and it's really dark because the alleyways are canopied.
Does it make a difference if it's 5 because I have an automatic +1 to dodge? Because what I think actually happens
It's not
is
no,
not a
you get
dodge.
hit. This is just part of.
Oh, okay. It would be very funny if I just splintered into fragments, but
You
I
can do that for
understand.
flavor, but you still get hit.
Yeah, I think like Aspen is being, I assume, physically thrown from the boat, and me, I'm still being thrown from the boat, but instead of in one piece, I'm in like 100 pieces. Just go.
You tinkle through the air as you hit
Yeah.
the water. And you are the boats are still getting pushed, and you are all moving with the water far, 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 far down this really long stretch of water.
Can I, seeing this, and once I get settled, could I use my forte ability, Mood of the Sea? I can affect a small area of water around me, making it either calm or roiling.
Yes.
It might have different effects, but it always lowers or increases the challenge of swimming in that area by 1. I don't want them to drown. I don't think I can stop all of this going, but I don't want them to drown. So I'm
Sure.
going
What is the level of the ability?
It's level 3. It's not very high.
So yeah, you can roll. You spend your 3 sorcery, and then you can roll for me.
Okay. Yeah.
Roll 2 dice.
2 dice.
Because this is magic.
Let's see. The higher one is a 7, and then the one that I was imagining is magic is 5.
Yes. What does this look like as it succeeds?
Oh geez, I don't even know. It's like a little weird because it's like it's like a narrow tunnel though, but it's like a long stretch of water ahead and a long stretch of water below. So it's like we're still moving, but there's like this weird patch that's just like calmer than like it all of a sudden just sort of like when you turn the dial on a gas oven, like down to simmer, and like if you have boiling water, it just like hisses to a stop, but we're still moving. It doesn't really make sense in terms of physics, but you now have this weird, looks like a graphical error in like video games. It's like the best way I can imagine it. Like that one patch is just not being affected by anything. Like the animation didn't load. Like it just, yeah. Best I can imagine it.
Yeah. So you see both of you, Lace and Aspen, you're in this suddenly calmer area behind both Ray and the rowboat. And you're wet.
I would like to get back in the boat if I can. Is it feasible? Do I have
Yes,
to roll anything?
it's feasible. It'll be awkward.
That's fine.
Clambering into a rowboat is always going to be awkward.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh yeah. Aspen heaves themselves over and on all fours, sopping wet, just says, "I'm totally done with boats. I'm never getting on a boat again." And leans back and is thinking of how the last time this happened, at least they were dry. But it's going to start wringing their clothes out and trying to reorient themselves.
Lace.
I'm trying to decide. It might just be smarter for me to not spend the sorcery, but I could. How much would it cost me to do my teleport? I've done the teleporting thing before, right?
I think like 5 or something like that. Let me double check. Teleport would be, depending on how much you weigh, 4 or 5.
Okay. I have that thing enhanced spell that makes some stuff 1 less, right? It's slightly cheaper,
It depends.
maybe.
If you take too long, Dremta will start to like reach for you and like haul you back up on.
I mean, actually, that's fine. I expended no sorcery for that, so I'm very happy with that arrangement.
You're just kind of grabbed by your clothes like a cat and just like flopped into the boat.
I think there is like a certain sense, like she makes a noise that would be more in place coming from Shard. Like, it's not a happy sound.
And that's fair. Are you two ready to keep going?
I don't know why we stopped.
Did you want us to leave you behind?
Everything is fine.
Ray does touch the bird, and telepathically in Dremta's mind is like, what was that? Should we be concerned? Should we be moving faster?
I don't know.
I mean, faster would be better.
All right. Let's go. And they continue on. As you're making your way down these more streets, you do actually begin to see signs of wildlife. At some point, you see this bird, a small bird, and then all of a sudden, a large fish tries to like ambush it. I'm gonna leave it ambiguous because I don't know how people feel about that, but on what happens. But it's a big fish. Like think like double catfish.
Ooh.
Large, and catfish are
Double
big.
catfish.
Catfish are fucking big. That's all I
Double
know.
catfish is definitely the name of my band.
No one can see Ray's eyes going like, I need to sculpt it.
I take a action rest since I'm down to 2 sorcery, so
You
I
can
need
do
that all
so.
back.
And you see that happen a couple times. At one point, your boat, one of them, gets like rocked as it is bumped by something from underneath the surface.
I want to use some of my sorcery because Safrona just reminded me that action rests exist.
Yep.
And I want to use. I have double movement, which is my learned. What's it called? Practiced aggregate. I'm special at movement. Is basically what it means. And I want to make us go faster, but also like, can I make us hover? I feel like I have an aggregate for that.
I don't remember what you have. You gotta argue for it.
I have infinity and I have freedom. I would like to argue for freedom.
Okay, freedom is the aggregate. I need the qualities.
Escape, movement, quiet.
And you're trying to go quick and hovering.
Quick in the hopes that we will not be impeded.
Yes. Okay. Some of y'all weigh a lot, and I'm mostly talking about our angel friend and our big boy. So if you want to do this to everybody, this is going to be 6 sorcery. 7 if you want it to last a little longer than just a round.
Invest in the future. Let's go.
Do you have 7 sorcery?
I have so much. I put everything into sorcery.
Okay.
I have so much sorcery.
Okay.
I have 12. So.
Okay. What does this look like as you all begin to zoom along? And like, Drumta's very surprised at first. And they're like, okay, this is going to be much quicker than what we were doing. And lets you have at it. But this means that you are navigating the rest of the way.
No, that's the worst possible outcome for this. But, you know, it's fine. Everything is fine. Lace is doing this with great confidence.
Okay. Roll me an intellect check to navigate.
No.
This is where I would suggest you use the intellect and hidden knowledge.
Yeah. So, intellect and hidden knowledge. I'm going to spend my 2 intellect bene, which are what I have. And listen, I told you I put everything in sorcery.
That's
I
okay.
was not lying.
That's okay. That's great for a weaver. I'm not going to lie.
Listen, I've been able to do a lot with weaving, so... Okay. Oh, no, it's on the floor. It's gone forever.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
No, come back. Okay. I got it.
Yay.
Okay, it's saved. Okay. That was a d6. I've lost the plot. Okay, that's an 8. Plus my 2 intellect beta is a 10. Plus anything else. Hidden knowledge. I have been practicing because Safrona is my friend and is very much water. Wow. And so
6.8 out of 10. What is it? Is it 7.8? I don't remember.
7.8.
7.8 out of 10.
I'm willing to believe it's 7.8. And because the first time Lace teleported was to avoid getting her feet wet, I'm canonically deciding that Lace has decided that by whatever means necessary, her feet will not get wet. So she has been like ruminating on the possibility of water travel, and is now applying it to a larger group.
Okay. So what happens is, as you are zooming along, you are kind of also like coordinating with Drumta, because they've been keyed on to something this entire time that you all have been walking and like going around in here. So between the two of you, you're zipping along between these waterways, ignoring some of the fish that are down there, some very large insects also, like gigantic dragonflies that have been alighting on some of the greenery. There has been at least one really, really big frog on a lily pad that just croaks really big as you go by, just barely missing it. And all of a sudden, at some point, you feel Drum to grab your arm, like, stop right here. And they point to a gated island. Right here. They're here. Right here.
Okay. Lace will steer us over there.
And behind this gate, you see a very large house of some sort. It has 4 towers at each corner, and it's hard to tell from the outside, but it looks like there might be a lot of rooms. There is a tree kind of like sticking out in the middle, which might indicate a courtyard of some sort in the center.
There's always courtyards.
Courtyards are cool, okay? I love courtyards.
Deeply suspicious of this courtyard.
And who's in front? Who else is in front? Sophrona and Lace? Yeah, one of you have to get the gate.
I can. How far is the gate?
You can go right up to it. Because you have this wall is actually around the outer island. So it is going from, it's actually in the water instead of on the islands, like some of the other ones. So it's like a huge gate from top of the wall to actually the bottom of the river. And on the inside, you can see this house and the island.
I assume it goes like all the way down to the bottom, like down to the riverbed, and then like how high up is it? Oh god.
It's climbable, but I will also say if you're looking around, everyone make me a perception check, or whoever would like to. If you're looking for a way in, because it looks like there's really no like handle.
I could possibly just jump the gate. I have a spell for that. I have two perception.
I rolled a 6.
Lace, towards like partway down. Like, if this were dry land, which it's not, but you do see a lever towards the bottom of the river.
That seems ominous. I will point out the lever and say, hey, look, a lever. Do you think that this will kill us? Question mark.
It's like right near the gate.
Probably open the gate. It's like on our side, right?
Yeah.
I've heard of this book called Minecraft, and when buttons are placed next to doors, they open them. So this cannot possibly go wrong.
Who can swim the best?
Sophrona can breathe underwater, so I imagine Sophrona.
Yeah, I should just go down. It's fine.
Okay.
It's fine. I will just climb out of the boat. It's like awkward. She doesn't want to just dive.
You could just scuba fall.
Yeah. Diving's a bad idea.
Is Sophrona wearing like her regular
she's wearing
dress?
pants this time. She's wearing pants this time.
I'm like imagining a petticoat.
Yeah.
Okay. You go into the water to swim?
Yes, I do.
This water is very cool and very fresh.
Oh.
It's cold, but it's fresh. And you can easily go down and pull this lever, which it just opens the gate. It goes into the stone wall and opens.
Awesome. I will swim in ahead of the boats.
Okay. All of you could follow behind and land and dock. And go ahead.
I was just gonna say, as we're coming in, can I look up at like the windows and the space around and see if there's like anything of note?
There's nothing of note. And as soon as you dock, like, Drumta's out of the boat.
Because sound carries, Ray continues to use the bird. I was just like, do you think that's a normal tree or do you think that's a killer tree, like the one you sent after us?
It's not a killer tree. At least not that killer tree.
Okay. No, that killer tree was destroyed.
Yeah, I know.
Mm-hmm. I know
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. Really weird way to destroy it. Just kissing it. Yeah, okay.
I was just going to have Songbird eat it, but like Lace was very cool and yeah.
I'm out. My hair is perfect because my hair is not made of hair.
Your ship is just swimming around in your hair. Fun fact, I couldn't find a way to fit it in, but at one point I was going to give the ship in your hair a crew.
Oh, that would be so fun.
Whole different world going on up there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
What
basically.
we need is a campaign that takes place entirely in Sophona's hair.
Oh my
That's
god,
that's-
that'd be so cool. Okay, anyway. When you're all docked and off the boats, Drumta does not wait for you.
Sure. I mean, I think Lace figures it's her job to keep up. So she will go.
I will do the wet clothes walk, toddling along like a 5-year-old after Drumta.
All right. This is the last time I'm going to ask this. Is there anything else you would like to do before I describe the next scene?
The way you said that makes me want to say yes, but I want to save my sorcery for whatever I need to do next.
No, I'm good.
Can you remind me how we clear injuries in this game? Is it just time?
So you can clear wounds by using, you can clear wounds as they happen by spending a physicality.
Okay.
Tragically, I don't have enough of those, so I will just be slightly wounded.
So otherwise it would be time or magic.
And did we take a wound or an injury?
Injury.
Okay, just make.
So you're fine.
Cool.
Okay.
I got nothing.
Go ahead, Ray.
Ray's gonna make a defender.
What's it look like this time?
It looks half to mock Drumta and half because of because he thinks it'll be useful in this. It is like it is a raven but with a shark's head instead of a raven head.
Freaking great. Okay.
But it's large, like sort of like almost like when a kestrel takes off, like out of like Ray's back and like soars forward to sort of like take a running stance where Ray is like running after Drumta as well.
Okay.
Like keep
Could
up.
Could I make sure that the boats are secure?
Yes, you can.
Just to make sure that they're just not floating off.
Yeah, you can absolutely do that. Okay. Are you ready? All right, I'm gonna read the card.
Sorcery.
On the Pale Sun, I have pulled the Misremembered Dream. Value of 1, mysteries, rats, mirrors, and stone. Meanings, confusion, mistakes, change in identity. Dreams are strange constructs of our subconscious, made stranger still because we don't remember them clearly. Some say in shadow, people's dreams seem strange because they're remembering the actuality. And in the actuality, people's dreams resemble the mundanity of the gray. This is, at least in part, true, but of course, anything having to do with the deepest reaches of the mind is much more complex than that. The line between memory and dreams is already tenuous, but the memory of a dream, or the dream of a memory, who can count on that? Blue magic is enhanced, and red is hindered. So, what happens is Dremta enters the house and like immediately kind of ignores any left or right turn heading deeper into a room or deeper into the residence. They are gunning it for the courtyard. They are locked on to what you can only assume is Oriel. There is no other explanation for it, and they head into this courtyard that is surrounded on all four sides by the rest of the house. In the middle of the courtyard is one large tree in one of the closest corners, but it seems like some type of garden, which has some raised beds. There are stone pathways which are completely covered in moss, and there is grass growing in between the stones. And a majority of the center actually is this very shallow pool of some sort of just water. It's hard to tell if it used to be like a pond and fountain or something else entirely, or it was just flooded at some point. It's really hard to tell because you don't see stones making a border like around a fountain or anything like that. And Dremta runs forward and like stops and like looks around tense. And if this were a video game, it would like have a little save thing in the corner and like boss music would start playing. Essentially.
Suspiciously large open space.
You would have like the chest full of like items right before you walk in, like a revival potion and shit like that. Like right outside. And what happens is it gets really quiet again before the middle begins to bubble. And it's only like a couple inches deep as you get closer, but something seems to be pushing through from somewhere else. And like a geyser spout jumps out of it. And you see one tentacle.
Ooh.
2 tentacles. 3 tentacles.
Already too many tentacles.
Multiple tentacles, as well as a large beak, like you would find on a squid or an octopus. And this is where we're going to roll initiative.
Sure.
Oh.
Hey, Dremta, do you know this octopus?
They're looking at it in abject horror.
Okay.
Oh, that's great.
Horror, concern, anger. Oh no, Ray got it too.
Initiative is movement, correct?
Initiative is movement, correct.
I'm just gonna go with that. I'm gonna go with my 6.
Lace is a 6.
I also got a 2.
Oh dear. Yeah, I'm at a 5.
Okay, and then Sophrona is 5. I need to figure out Dremta. I think that was Dremta earlier. And then let me pull up my stat block to see what level it is. Because that's what I say.
Uh-oh.
Oh, okay. Okay, so the order of initiative is going to be NPCs, and then the rest of y'all in any order. Y'all did not roll high enough, unfortunately. Sorry. So
sometimes it's like that.
That's just how it frickin' is, unfortunately. Dremta is staring at this octopus or kraken-like creature. It's probably closest to like vibes of a kraken instead of an octopus or a squid. And you just hear them scream Oriel's name. And asking, where are you? The Kraken, on the other hand, begins flailing its limbs.
Uh-oh.
Oh shit, I should have grabbed the die. Because it's going to be random on who it hits. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So Lace and Aspen, I both need you to roll a dodge defense roll.
Rip.
Reminder, you have a +1 to your dodge, Lace, as is.
It
because
does not matter.
it does not matter.
That's a 3.
Okay.
I rolled a 9 for once in my life.
Aspen, you are fine.
Oh my God.
However, Lace, you are bodied by one of these tentacles. And you will take 3 points of damage.
Hang on. I need to know how this works because I already have 1 injury.
So
right?
when you hit 3, you will get a wound. You can use a
So
physicality.
I just got a wound.
You can use a physicality to negate that wound.
Right. So I will do that. So I still have an injury, right?
Correct.
Because so basically I just used a physicality is what I did.
To negate it.
Okay.
And you are kind of thrown back.
Great. That's all my physicality gone. Everything is fine.
It's the rest of y'all.
Okay,
Oh,
I would like
jeez.
to, if possible, retaliate against the evil tentacle of doom.
You may.
I would like to actually do this against as many of the tentacles as I can by spending a whole bunch of sorcery, I'm guessing.
Okay.
So I would like, sorry, I'm putting a 0 in my physicality. It's very depressing. I would like to use I will use stillness, destruction, and I want to make it glow, but also freeze it like I did with ice in the church.
Mm-hmm.
I want to slow it down is my goal, right? Like, but I'm also using destruction to hopefully do a little bit of damage to it as I do that.
Choose what you have to choose one thing.
Destruction. I want to hurt it
How bad do you want to hurt it?
real bad.
I need a number of injuries. Because that's how the level of effects table works.
12, 17, 4. Let's say 4.
You
Is
wanna
4 a
do
number?
Okay, so that'll be 4. Actually, it will be 5 sorcery because right now, red magic is hindered, meaning you have to spend an extra sorcery or it's weaker.
Okay, 5 is what I have, so I will spend that, and then I'm assuming on my next turn I'll action replenish it.
So roll me 2d10 and tell me what you get on both, please.
I can achieve that. Okay, d10s. The clear one is my magic one. So that is a 9 on my first one.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a 9 on my second one.
Awesome.
Ooh,
So you are able to do 4 points of damage against this thing. One of the tentacles freezes and shatters, and you all hear this scream of pain.
Lace looks like, I think, mildly surprised that worked. Much as I am surprised that worked.
Okay. What's next? Who's next?
Can I send Finnair to look for Oriel?
You can.
Then that is what Ray wants to do. Ray is like, Dremt is gonna be fucking useless until we find Oriel. So is using my command on my familiar to be like, find this creature. It's gonna be injured, and maybe use that to like find it.
All right. I will say that I will go looking if you want to go do something else.
Okay, yeah. Then what I want to do is Oh, I'm just really worried that this Kraken is Oriole.
I mean, yes, but also we need to, in the interim, do something about it because
I know. These are very big tentacles, right? Like there's
One can
like
pick
if
you
I
up.
wanted to grapple a tentacle, that's like not a thing, right?
You can do one, but there's multiple.
I'm gonna try and smash it.
Okay.
I'm gonna try and hit
Okay.
one of these tentacles with my sledgehammer and hope that it shatters.
Okay. Please roll me your 2d10.
My 2d10. I threw away my other one. It rolled off the desk. I have to pick it up now.
Everyone's losing their dice today. What is going
I
on?
have I don't have a desk dice thingy. I wish I did.
Dice
My
tower?
D100 is going to be my magic die. Or my D10 percentile.
Are you using accuracy?
No, because I already rolled.
Okay.
And that would feel whatever. So one of these is a 3, and my magic die is a 5.
3 and a 5. And what level is your weapon? I think it's level 4.
Mm-hmm, correct.
So level 4, a 3 and a 5, which is a 9 and a 7. Yes. So you do a total of 6 points of damage.
Mm-hmm.
And another one of these tentacles shatters. And it shatters into porcelain. You couldn't really tell with laces because it was winter when it's an aspect, so it kind of looked more like ice.
Okay.
But it shatters white and dissipates.
Oh god. Okay.
Well, we've learned something.
Yeah.
I think Ray stops and screams in like terror because it is very upsetting.
Yeah. Just a little bit.
What is Jumped doing other than have they looked in any direction? Are they just standing there
For
screaming
their
in horror?
first turn, they were staring in horror.
Fuck. Okay.
Oh god. Here, wait.
You can tell that there are a million things going through their head trying to figure out what their next plan of attack is.
Oh god.
They will
okay,
not be
wait.
stationary next round, I'll tell you that. They look like they are gearing to make a decision.
I would like to. I mean, shit. What else are we gonna do? These tentacles are not chilling out, I'm guessing.
No.
Alright. I mean, I feel like we gotta take care of something.
I'm gonna. Yeah, I can try and do something about it next turn, but in the meantime, we gotta stop getting hit by tentacles.
Yep.
Yeah.
I will shoot one.
Oh, that's right. You have
pull out
a
my-
weapon.
I have 3 weapons.
So many weapons.
Okay. You have a weapon.
I do. And it's accuracy, correct?
Yes.
Is it accuracy?
This is a pistol.
Yes. It's a level 4 pistol.
All right. So you will roll. I will tell you right now, if you want to be able to do damage, you will need to succeed twice. The other 2 succeeded with because they were magic attacks, but if you want to succeed, you need to succeed on 2 rolls, and in order to get 2 rolls on a mundane attack, you need to spend sortilege.
Would I know that before?
It's safe. Yeah.
Like, could I change what I'm gonna do?
Yeah.
I would instead like to. Well, no, I'm not gonna change what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna shoot it. Okay, I'm gonna spend sortilege. You said to succeed.
Yes. You need to imbue it with magic of some sort.
I'll do that.
Yeah.
I'll spend some sortilege.
All right. Any
and I would
accuracy?
like- I will use 3 accuracy.
Okay. Hold up.
I didn't look.
You auto succeed because it was a level 4 weapon. They build on top of each other. It's a level 7, so you need to succeed on 2 level 7 rolls.
Okay.
So you don't have to roll. What's the damage? 4 points?
4. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
You
Cop.
break. What? Tell me what it looks like, because this is the first time we've ever really seen you shoot a weapon.
It's true.
Successfully.
And Aspen, because I'm from Texas, unfortunately, probably
I'm
at least
sorry.
once. It's aren't we all? Probably at least once shot a weapon in Shadow. So does not look quite so floundering with this. But I had a whole narrative in my head. I'm going to try and find a place that I could potentially hide behind if this thing comes back and hits me, because I'm still squishing, and I'm going to get some distance because I am shooting.
You
but
won't
yeah,
be able to hide this turn, unfortunately, because you only have one
No,
action.
that's fine.
Yeah.
Flavor narratively.
Yeah.
But I just keep it holstered on my side. I will point and shoot, and because I've imbued it with a little bit of sortilege, I imagine that it's kind of got a reddish glow to the bullet as it comes through, because I am certainly trying to wrap myself in my rage to keep myself safe, because I am very afraid right now.
Fair.
And yeah, that'll be my turn.
Okay. And Safrona.
She is not very combat based, so she doesn't have a lot of options here. She will use, I guess. God. She will use one of her Forte abilities that she has. Sea Summons. She'll draw a little circle in her like that, and it will create a little portal to the bottom of the sea. And it says, with great pressure, salt water, small stones, and even bits of sea creature shells and coral shoot up to a short distance. I will move toward it if I have to. At a single target, inflicting damage equal to the level of the ability, which is 6 plus a die. So I will roll the die.
Okay, I'm looking at it right now. A 6-inch portal momentarily opens.
Yes.
Leading directly into the deepest depths of the sea.
Yep.
So you will roll 3 dice.
Oh.
And tell me what you get.
That first one was a 4. 4, 4, 2. So that is a total of 10.
Yeah, so you are able to shoot this thing. What does it look like?
It's not, her Forte abilities are not, very, they don't have a lot of flair. They're actually, surprisingly just, they just happen. She doesn't, I think it's, unlike her spell, she doesn't put a lot of, dramatic in it. So it's literally, she just draws a little circle in the air, and it just, shoot, shoots out. It's not elegant. Her Forte is not elegant compared to her spells. It's just...
You just, I feel like there's also just, a little flop of seaweed on the ground.
Yeah. Maybe
it's like a cap of a fire hydrant suddenly cutting
exactly.
off.
Yeah.
Boom. And then just sea kelp, and then it turns off.
Exactly. It's what it says on the tin.
A crab also falls out and then begins scuttling away.
Yeah.
This thing screams in pain after having many of its tentacles being shot out. And at this point, Dremta shakes themselves out of whatever is going on and pulls a sword out of midair. A very familiar looking sword lace. And very hesitant.
There's my sword.
There it is. And very hesitantly leaps into the fray. Where they slash at another tentacle, which shatters again. And they are shouting this entire time. This kraken-like creature screams again in pain.
Of course.
And all of a sudden, the water underneath it wells into a large wave as it sweeps at all of you. I like everyone to make a withstand roll, please. Ray, you're going to have a bonus because your little bird-like creature is ahead of you and kind of buffering some of that wave.
Oh my goodness. There it goes.
It's
That
a
is
5.
the 6th die that I have lost. Oh, I rolled so bad. 1.
So one, Aspen got a what? So the only one who succeeds is Ray. As Lace, Aspen, and Sophrona, the three of you are swept up in this wave and essentially slammed up against one of the walls of the house.
Yeesh.
And you're going to take 5 points of damage.
God, I can't negate this anymore.
I'm gonna negate that.
Okay, you can negate 1 wound,
Yep.
so you'll be left over
Okay.
with 2 injuries.
One.
Wait,
hang
how
on,
does damage work again?
So you start off, you have 3 injuries per wound. When you take an injury, it will, when you take 3 injuries, it will go into a wound. And when you get a wound, you negate it with physicality.
Unless you're out of physicality, in which case you now have 2 wounds for reasons.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
I also just rolled all of my test d10s and they're all zeros.
Also, I forgot to pull the card at the top of the round. The next card is the Assassin, which is Stoics. Actually, this is an add-up card, so I have to play another card. Never mind. This is the Imprisoning Ice, which is a value of 4. What is it? Which is adepts get a +1. So what did you roll, Sophrona? And Aspen? No, Aspen, you're not an adept. Never mind.
Oh, I rolled a 1, so
Okay,
that
so it wouldn't
there's
matter.
nothing wrong. No.
So y'all take some damage. And probably have the wind knocked out of you.
Great.
And it's back at the floor.
Fortunately, I don't need to be close to do magic because I'm a weaver.
True.
So I'll just be chilling with my 2 wounds in the water, and I'm gonna do some things that, Mary, you're gonna have to tell me if I'm stretching it too far because I do not have the best aggregates for this.
Mhm.
I want to see. So, Lace's personal theory is that this might perhaps be our angel friend.
Yes.
And I would like to use endings, escape, and illumination to see if I can end whatever kind, or try to drop, even for a moment, the spell that, or whatever magic it, I want to pick apart whatever has turned this angel into a kraken.
Talk with each other, stall while I figure out what kind of effect this is. How much sorcery
Okay.
do you have right now?
Cool.
I'm
You refreshed.
charging back up.
You already
so I'm
refreshed,
going up
okay.
to full. I have 12.
Y'all talk and
I'm
stall
willing
while I
to
figure out what this does. What this might be.
Okay.
Ray
we-
is screaming at Dremta that to maybe slow down, that this might be Oriel, because he also came to this conclusion.
I want to know if like there is some kind, like my plan is to try and find something alternative. Like if Oriel's being held somewhere and his power is being funneled into this awful creature. So I'm wondering if we should go into the house. Mayor, I don't know how much above table talking you are allowing, but I'm gonna keep going
We're
with
killing
it.
time. Keep
Yeah,
talking.
because this is. I love the idea and I want it to work, but I just don't know what it would be.
Fair.
Because you are trying
I'm
to
trying-
end a significant effect on a creature.
Yeah. I get it. I'm willing to spend what I need to spend.
You'll
too.
probably have to
I
spend
feel
all
like
your
it-
sorcery
I mean,
and a
it's
sortilege.
fine.
It will require multiple successes.
I've got a lot of sortilege. Well, I have some sortilege.
Did you take that secret that would have allowed you to bump up your weaver?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Aspen is a one-trick pony in this fight. So if we are not trying to like kill this, I will try and redirect my energy elsewhere. Is my plan.
My logic with this is I think that Lace is becoming really interested in unpicking magic and how circumstances lead to magic.
You know what? I'm just going to say you need to go all in. Because I cannot. I don't want to waste too much time looking for something specific.
Sure.
So I'm going to pull
willing to try.
Okay, so spend all of your sorcery.
Yeah.
You need to spend a sortilege to roll 3 dice. You do not know what your target is.
Secret target. Okay. Which one should I give first?
Just are any of them zeros?
No.
Okay, just
I got-
read them all out.
I got a 6, a 5, and a 9.
I can't do fucking math, y'all.
6, 5, and 9 is 20.
No, you don't add them together.
Oh, okay,
They are added with the venture.
gotcha.
That is math I do not comprehend.
Okay. So, Lace, tell me what you do, what happens as you cast this very powerful spell to dispel a extremely powerful piece of magic.
Okay, I think that this very much is like the magical equivalent of the inventor trying to throw. This is like Lace trying to MacGyver something, essentially. And so I think it's Lace kind of concentrating, looking at the Kraken that just, whacked her in the face.
Hard.
And kind of saying, I see it. It's right there. And I think they pull, and you see the briefest flash of a thread, and I don't know what color it is, but I think that you see for a second the physical manifestation of a thread of the spell, and I think you see Lace pull it, and whatever it is shatters. There is the sound of shattering.
So as you're pulling and pulling at this string to essentially, like, you are pulling apart something that, like, someone crocheted, like a sweater or knitted. And what happens is this Kraken kind of, like, pulses and undulates before the entire thing shatters into porcelain. Like, all the pieces are just flying past all of you, not hitting all of you, any of you, surprisingly. Some of the pieces are embedded in the tree nearby, in the ground, in the walls of the building. And almost cinematically glowing with a white light in the center of all of this, hovering and gently floating to the ground, is another angel, similar in size and stature, with porcelain wings like Dremta. Their face is long and snout-like. It's like some kind of mammal. And they're very just smooth, as if they're just coming back into existence. And Dremta immediately drops the sword. It clatters to the ground. Thankfully, shard side up, as they run forward, and their friend, Oriel, is in their arms.
No one looks more surprised that this worked than Lace.
Gotta get you some self-esteem.
Yeah, Ray picks up the sword and is running back towards his friends who were not protected by giant birds.
Fair. Absolutely fair.
Lace looks the worst for wear and also was the one who did it. So Ray is just like, you fucking did it! You fucking did it! And just sort of like that, like, soccer, like, knee slide in the water to, like, sort of like, if Lace allows it, just like pick her up.
I think Lace is like noodle and just lets herself be swept up because she's excited about it. She just did not expect it to work. So I did it. That doesn't usually happen.
In my experience, every time that you've attempted something amazing, you've fucking done it. The maze, the boat, just.
I think Lace gestured to like the tentacle marks across her body. I mean, sacrifices must be made, right? But yeah, I'm not really not made for defense. I have one job on this ship.
And I think he just pushes the sword into your hands.
This is very heavy, actually.
Oh, do you want me to carry it?
It's yeah.
Okay.
Can I? If looking at the sword, is this gonna be like a project to undo?
No, it won't be that hard. It won't be that hard to. It is mostly held together with wire. So if you like, it's not permanently affixed.
Okay. I think if Lace can get it off, she will slide the shard down her cleavage again, because that is her storage place. But if not, she will just be like, my shoulder really got, stabbed a
I will
little.
carry it for you.
Thanks. I don't have any physicality left, so I'm just
I have
gonna...
5 physicality left, so we're good. Ray's gonna check up on the other 2.
Yeah. Also, Helia is like, Aspen, are you okay? You didn't break anything?
Yeah. Thought I did for a second, but seems okay. And I am still down 1 wound because of the other injury that I'd taken, so I'm not feeling great.
I wasn't aware you could shoot. You did it so good.
Thanks. I kind of wasn't aware I could do it either until it happened, so I'm glad it worked out. Is there anything hinky?
Is there anything what?
Hinky?
Hinky?
Yeah, like in the vicinity, other than like, the 2 angels weeping probably in each other's arms. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I am very distrustful of this demon showing up.
Yeah,
and
roll me a perception.
I will use 3 bene on that.
Yeah, I will.
You want to roll too?
No, I was going to use witch sight to check the front door if there's anybody like coming up through the gate.
I see. You can if you would like.
Yeah.
It was a 6 on the dice, so a 9 total.
Okay, Safrona, tell me which site is the one that allows you to what again?
It allows me to see. I can choose an area a location that I've been before, and it allows me to see as if I'm standing there.
Okay, so I'm gonna do Safrona first. Safrona, you cast your witch sight spell, and you are back at the gate. Or maybe like at the top when you were swimming at the surface. You don't see anything. Except for maybe like a big old fucking fish.
Awesome.
A dragonfly definitely just got eaten by that frog you saw earlier. Aspen, you got a 9, you said? You look around and you do see a pitch black bird of some sort in that tree. And like as soon as you catch its attention, it like begins to flap away.
It doesn't look like it's doing any, like it's just leaving.
It had 3 eyes.
Cool. I will turn to the rest of the group. We should probably make moves out of here. I have a feeling that our demon friend knows what has happened, and we should start to go.
Aspen, you totally shot a weapon.
I did. We can compliment me on the way back, please. I would really like for us to not be here.
It was awesome, Aspen. You totally shot the kraken. I think Lace has gotten a little loopy.
Lace needs to go to the hospital. But some of you probably have to go to the hospital.
I could probably use a band-aid or 2.
Mm-hmm.
Be nice.
Are you gonna fly out of here? Like, Ray looks back at Dremta.
Is Oriel standing, or
no? Absolutely not. Oriel is being held by Dremta, like in their arms. When you call over, they don't respond. They're absorbed.
I'm gonna go over.
Okay. Aspen, you don't speak Angel.
Nope.
But you do hear a very soft, gentle tone coming from Dremta at Oriel. Oriel, as they've started to get a more solid form. Definitely is in the form of some like lupine fox skull type-esque.
I have one sitting right behind me.
Oh, cool. That's so freaking
It's
cool.
It's a coyote. Aspen, there's a moment where Aspen falters because this is somebody reunited with the person that they thought they lost. And there's a bit of jealousy and there's a lot of hurt. And then goes forward and kneels just to like get into Jemta's line of sight, is not trying to make a set of movements.
That's her.
And just says, I know that this is important, but we need to go. I don't want that demon to come back and find you here with Oriel like this.
We'll leave. We'll fly out.
Okay. And I will back up and head towards the boats.
As you begin to walk away, you just hear a thank you.
Don't mention it.
And you all, if you're looking, as while Aspen is walking back, you see Dremta break into 100 ravens with Oriel, and they fly off.
I think we have to briskly.
Briskly go.
Don't worry about us. We'll be fine.
Before Ray lets go of this raven, is like, that's not enough. I don't know. I think he's like thank you. That's not enough. This is a much bigger favor you owe, and then let's go.
It doesn't respond.
I figured, but Ray's letting it know. Ray's letting Drumta know.
You know it. You know Dremta's true name. Call on a favor later.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, basically. All right. I'm assuming you grab the boats
Oh yeah.
and head off. The four of you take time to, first of all, recover some injuries and wounds and lick your wounds and such. But there are some things we need to resolve before we go into epilogues. Between Ray and Lace, who would like to go first?
Oh, I'm
Songbird, Frankie.
Okay,
Oh,
thank you.
Okay. Okay. I'll go first. I'm happy to go first.
Sure. So, at some point, I'm assuming you let Short Ray and Cicero know that you succeed.
Yeah, I think when Lace is no longer injured, or maybe she might send Shard over as soon as she gets home. I don't know. But basically, she's like, I did the thing. Come and get it.
So basically what happens is they were waiting on your cue. Cicero did fuck off to Shadow to start looking for Frankie again. But they need to time it while you are there, because as soon as they bring Frankie over, they're going to disappear again.
Yeah.
Unless the shard is there. So Ray will once again bring you to the bleed, which is that like, because Spartan is like in an extra dimensional space. So she will take you to the headquarters of the Hendasa, Grey Reaper part of the Hendasa in the bleed, like she did many, many sessions ago. And she looks up at you. Are you ready?
Yep.
Okay. I don't know exactly when Cicero's going to get back. They just kind of showed up when you left to go take care of that and return that. Said they're going to go look for Frankie. I don't know how he does it. His timing's really good, so hopefully it shouldn't take too long.
Cicero works in mysterious ways.
I don't know how they do. They're good at their job. I just don't know how they can do it so well.
Some things are unknowable.
I really want to learn how to do what he does very well.
Just make yourself Cicero's prodigy.
I'm
like,
trying. I really am trying.
Protege is the word.
Dude, I'm trying. Okay, so
Maybe like a hat would help.
but I get hat hair.
Yeah,
I don't like that. No,
we'll work on it.
a pin.
Mhm.
Okay. They usually They usually cast the Pathwalker spell in like some spare rooms, just in case, with like room and cushions in case people fall over. Like I don't know about you, but when I came over, I felt nauseous as hell.
Yeah. I mean, it was more the like rush of memories. It was like a.
That's why I was nauseous.
Yeah.
And y'all wait for a little bit in the Hindasa headquarters. Every once in a while, someone will bring like coffee or pastries while you all anxiously wait for Cicero to return.
Place is so caffeinated.
You just kind of have it on an IV. Eventually, before you, there is kind of a rip in space, in the actuality, and beyond, before anyone walks through, you see blue. You see a floating expanse and like bubbles. You know, as a Vizsla, that in order for them to cast this spell and to get here the quickest way possible, they would have to travel from Nightside Blue to get here. It's a trip. And eventually, with their bright red hair in a braid and their brown hat and glasses, out walks Cicero, supporting your friend, Frankie.
I think it's like, I don't know how this manifests itself like in the rule book, but I think that it's almost like when this piece is in the presence of the person it belongs to, there is kind of a pull to it. And so I think it's less like Lace handing it and more that it leaves her hand. Like, it's stretched out, but it's being pulled.
As Frankie walks through, that mental illusion, that mental lie of what someone looks like in shadow begins to melt away. So while they looked whole in shadow, when they begin to walk through into indigo, you do see this massive hole in their chest where normally would be flesh. You see this minerally deposit. And as you said, this pull from Frankie's body to the shard just is magnetic. And it slowly, until it gets really close, just snaps into place. And there is just a strangled gasp of inhalation as Frankie grabs Cicero to make sure that they don't fall over. And Cicero holds them and just kind of like looks over at you. Like looks at Frankie. Good job, kid.
I think Lace just stands up and doesn't say anything and just goes to Frankie and like holds him around the middle. And I don't know how tall Frankie is, but
Taller than you,
they
I
are
think.
definitely taller than Lace. Most definitely taller than Lace. And I think it's just like she says nothing.
Frankie does not say anything either, but their body language, how tight they are holding you, says a lot more than words ever could. Ray.
Hello.
So, Ray has been given an offer from Varel and Drosera to assist songbirds so they don't have to consume everything to survive.
Mhm.
Where are you going to see Songbird?
I am breaking and entering.
Again?
Yes.
Okay. Are you just taking Varel and Drosera?
So we never really talked about this, but like because like we didn't really talk about it, I think I would like to, instead of like having, if it's okay, instead of having had it be a downtime activity, could this be how Adestrea meets
Sure.
Songbird? Sweet. Yes, we're breaking and entering.
I don't know how I feel about breaking and entering to Chromalia's estate, but I think it'll be okay.
Well, if it helps at all, we never go inside. We just go up the side of the building.
Do you have a way for us to get up there?
Uh, a way for us to get up there, but I just realized. Ah, perfect. I have a way for all of us to get up there. One is going to be faster than the other.
Varel pipes up. I can handle Drosera and myself. Do not worry.
Oh, yes, then if you're not too against me carrying you while I walk up.
No, I don't mind.
All right, then yeah. Just right, just just lifts and then uses his spell that is called
Orientation adjustment.
orientation adjustment. Everyone who uses the spell becomes queer.
Perfect.
It just makes it wherever down is wherever I'm standing on. So like Ray just like puts his foot on the building and then lifts the other foot and then starts walking up the side of the building.
Varel looks at the height of the building and then gently wraps an arm around Drosera's waist, and she just fucking jumps.
She's so cool.
And she and Drosera just lightly and land on the edge of the roof.
Yeah, they get to chill while Ray does this walk up. And I think to make it less scary for Adestrea, if Adestrea gets nervous, it's like you're gonna Songbird's so cool that they were like the first person that I really got to talk to when I got here, and just like telling like stories as he walks up the side of the building.
Yeah, she's holding pretty tight. And you eventually make it to the top, where you see Songbird still surrounded by your graffiti summoning circle. Varel and Drosera have already made their way to Songbird.
And Ray is very, very gentle, sitting down at Estrella, and I think pulls out the mirror.
Interesting. She looks at it curiously, because she was there when it was made. So, Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
She lets you lead the way.
And Ray heads towards Songbird, and it's just like, I have friends here. Hey, kiddo.
Are you sure that it's a friend? And you can get the impression that it's referring to Varel and Drosera.
Oh yes, I'm sure, kiddo.
Because they were not very kind when I first met her.
That was my fault, kiddo. Unfortunately, the way that people were manipulating you would have made you hurt people that you didn't want to.
Okay.
But they've come here to help you so that you don't have to worry about surviving.
Varel gently touches Songbird, and you all feel this calm energy wash over you. It's okay. Drosera and I will not hurt you, but to best help you so you don't have to worry about it anymore, I just need you to do me one favor, okay? And Songbird waits before you get the impression of a nod. Summon all your pieces here. And you feel another slow nod. And Ray, I think you're the only one who can really feel the magnitude of what Songbird does, but all of those pieces around Saturnine morph into insects, these plant-like insects, and begin swarming towards the Marquee Quarter. And it takes a little bit, because they're in different parts of the city. But eventually you see this green cloud on the horizon, briefly blocking out the indigo sun as this swarm of insects alight and begin merging with Songbird.
And I think Ray looks in awe. Like, I think all he sees is beauty in the way that, like, Songbird, like, comes back together with, like, the skills that Ray had taught. And he knows how much it can, like, how he knows how much it takes out of you. And so I think, like, as the pieces slowly come, like, Ray is sort of like keeping a hand on Songbird and, like, speaking soothingly as, like, all the pieces coalesce. Like, good job.
And after all of the pieces have returned, Varel steps aside for Drosera. And Drosera doesn't speak, but they take out this probably about fist-sized luster stone that Aspen got for them. And even before it was charged with magic, it was still shining this beautiful, bright, seafoam green opalescence. But now it just shines brightly. Very brightly. And it's warm. And you can tell that Drosera is talking to Songbird, but without any words, and they're slowly guiding Songbird through something. And what happens is Songbird begins to shrink and begin to wrap around this stone, slowly and surely compacting itself, eventually forming into a similar creature, such as Drosera or Helia, made out of these very pointy thorns and a couple small white blooms with purple tinged in the center.
Oh. I think Ray cries. I think this is, like, everything that he was hoping that Songbird could have, and I think he cries, and he's, like, trying not to make a noise.
Adastrea squeezes your hand and, like, holds it. Go.
Yeah. And, like, Ray, like, half, like sort of, like, jogs over and is just like, "Hey there, kiddo."
They don't say anything. Songbird just hugs you.
And I think Ray squeezes without concern for, like, any of the thorns. He doesn't care. Doesn't care about any of it as long as he can, like, hug Songbird tight. And he's just like, I wanted to show you something. Can I show you something?
Yeah.
Okay. So I wanted to show you just how much I cared about you. I wanted you to be able to feel it.
Oh,
And he holds up the mirror and he's like, "Is that okay?"
they nod.
And Ray opens the mirror and shows it to Songbird, where the thorn has been like molded over like the outer rim of this carnelian and Ray has packed it with like the feelings of care and like love that he has felt for this, like for his first friend in Saturane.
And Songbird can't cry physically, but there's that feeling of happy joy as they hug you again. Drosera and Varel discreetly leave. And the two of you reunite, and Adastria meets Songbird for the first time. And as the camera pans back, on the far side of the garden, us as the audience see a mummified dead woman sitting on a bench, smoking a cigarette, watching quietly, but not interfering. She just kind of has like a small smirk to herself. Okay. Before we get to Aspen, Gena, I did not have anything planned specifically for you, but are there any closing scenes you would like to do before epilogue?
Not really, no.
Okay.
She's gotten very simple in her life at this point.
I figured I'd at least extend the offer. Okay. In that case, Aspen. Everyone is doing their own thing, as they are either reuniting with loved ones or taking it slow and quiet and resting like Sophrona. What have you been doing over the last couple days after this exciting adventure?
I have absolutely bothered William at least once, as is only appropriate.
Okay.
But I have honestly spent a lot of my time at home, and I have cleared away a significant portion of my workstation, and I have kind of like a little bulletin board, and everything is cleared off the bulletin board except the phrases mare that I had mentioned a while back.
Yep, I remember that.
When we came back and were kind of avoiding ourselves, I had left myself notes that just said sort of the things that my friends had shared with me that were really hard lessons to learn. So you do not have a monopoly on loss. Death is the natural cycle of things. Do not die in the corpse of the person you don't want to be anymore. And I had pinned those 3 up and had been decluttering and sort of reorganizing, but that is the only thing that's in the workshop right now. But I am at home at this point in time, probably lounging with Osmond somewhere, reading a book.
Osmond is not with you, actually.
Where is my best friend?
I will tell you in just a second.
Okay.
Osmond's allowed to have his own life. He's allowed to hang out with his buddy Shard. He has been hanging out with you, do not worry. But sometimes he does need to, I don't know, eat, use the bathroom.
I know, and Aspen is feeling very clingy right now, so it makes sense that Osmond would be like, please give me space.
Like, he will leave, he will come back. He's not going to stay away for long periods of times.
Okay.
Like, he has like 1 or 2 appointments that he needs to keep, but he will return.
He has appointments?
Hey, him and Shard might have gotten into a business venture.
He's a capybara. His only appointments are to take care of alligators and sleep.
A sentient capybara. Anyway, Osmond returns from one of his ventures on a night out, an evening out, and he actually comes back holding a letter in his mouth. And he slowly walks up to you, climbs up to where you are sitting, and deposits it in your lap.
Well, what the hell is this?
I don't
Did
know.
you learn how to write while you were out and about?
No, I don't have thumbs, but when I got back, this was slipped under the door.
Oh. Something from William, maybe, and I will go and open it.
The front has your name written on it in a slightly familiar handwriting. You've definitely seen it before. And as
Is it William's handwriting?
It is not William's handwriting.
Son of a bitch.
So you open the letter, and inside there is a lined piece of paper along with folded, slightly yellowed clippings. And the letter says the following. Aspen. I did not realize and make the connection until after our talk at the Go Ahead Hall of Records. Anything I say is moot point, and all the apologies in the world will never make up for what I did. But I still need to give them anyway, and I am sorry. However, the fact that I am writing a letter to you and not doing this face to face still proves that I'm a coward. I have included something that I have brought back with me. Something that I will never be able to appreciate as much as you. I'm sorry. And I wish you the best. And it is signed Cassandra O'Neill. And inside, along with the letter, are the pictures. The pictures only, not the obituary or the article from the newspaper like in Raised Epstein. Pictures of Brady. Probably the only pictures of Brady in existence at this moment.
Damn. I think Aspen freezes and is holding the pictures and looking at them, and I think for the first time in a long time cries about this. And it is just those bone-racking, heavy sobs. Loud, ugly crying. Alone in their room. Osmond is there, Helia is there, but
Helia has come up on the other side where Osmond isn't, and you can feel her there, holding you.
And I think even with his companions right there, this is a similar loneliness to right when they had gotten back from Emerin. This is that level of loneliness that Aspen does not know what to do with, because two creatures, people that he loves dearly are here, but not this person is not. And I think Aspen eventually, when he can collect his breath, takes the pictures and puts them up on the bulletin board where he can see them, and just says to Helia, I wish she would have just given me the damn bracelet back instead.
You can still ask. You can still ask. She doesn't know it's yours.
I don't know that I want anything to do with her.
And that's okay. You gonna be okay?
I think I have to be. And there is, I think, a somberness to Aspen, probably from that point forward. Realizing that this and their somewhat warped memories, because they became so obsessive with this idea of bringing Brady back, and the passport that reminds them of their travels that they had with Brady when they were in Shadow, that's kind of all there is. And I think it is very sombering, and they're a little less glamorous, a little less grandiose in their day-to-days, which we can dive in a little bit more into that in the epilogue. But if unless you want me to talk about it now, I got a lot of feelings.
Well, I will get into it in just a second. Does anyone else have anything else we'd like to do before we formally close? Okay. Hey, everybody. We're going to smash epilogues and sign-offs all into one. So thank you so much for joining us for this amazing campaign of Fraying Threads. Thank you. So I'm losing words. It's been a long night, but let's go around, players. Say what your epilogue is and tell us who you are and where we can find you. Since Kian, you kind of started getting into it, let's start with you.
Sure. So yeah, Aspen really struggles, I think, for a while. Kind of pulls back from their companions and their friends, and it is eventually becomes aware to them that this doesn't have to be just isolating as punishment. It can be a time to reflect and reset. You do find them doing research on demons and the power behind them, because they are not ready to let go of Brady. And I think a part of them will always have this drive to try and fix this in the way that they want it to be fixed. But I imagine that the wind is kind of taken out of their sails with that. So they will not stop looking. But between Helia and sort of these revelations, it is on the back burner, still there, still simmering. Aspen is very pointed about not visiting Ray when Adistray is around, at least at the beginning. It is very hard to be around her. Eventually would let her know what the bracelet does. Once they get to a point where Aspen can breathe a little bit easier.
She will promptly ask you if you want it back, horrified that she had something of yours the entire time.
I think at this point, Aspen probably just says no. It is a lovely thing, and you're a lovely person, I hear, and you should be able to keep that. Spends a lot of time with William. Probably kind of follows suit and makes obsessively, and starts to collect and sell, and tries to sell William's things for him so that William will live for forever.
Nope.
Aspen is like making sure that William is set and does not want for anything. That's just, little BFF William. But yeah, I think that we probably leave Aspen bouncing between his home and his friends' homes and visiting William, and still very poorly trying to make cookies. Still not great at it, doing his best. But I am Kian. I have been Aspen Thane for this campaign. You can find me on Twitter at uptight_chiffon. What are my next things? I don't even know what day it is, my friends. Let's see. What are we doing? Every other Saturday, you can find me over on Lost Caravan for the Fabulous Ultimate campaign. That one's just getting started, so if you want more of really just snarky, kind of dumb characters, I'm doing the same thing over there in different ways. I have a pet dragon now. I have 2 pet dragons. They're babies. They're going to be named Waffles and Pancakes. You have heard it first, because they don't know it over there on that campaign. I am over on Singularity Roleplay for the Camp Runners Cross campaign, which is absolute delight. Queer kids going to summer camp. It is a horror game. Nothing can go wrong. And I have a couple of other projects coming up that I will be able to tweet about when they are available. But yeah, that's me.
Who wants to go? You're unmuted, Gilly. I'm gonna... Oh, okay. Go ahead, go. I will volunteer if anyone takes too long.
Yeah. So Ray, Ray, I think simply just sort of like changes his house. I think he makes like a maker space in it, and starts and literally just oh, I forget their name. The who Orlean is like, and it's just like, maybe we should like, we can, this house is big. I was by myself. I have another roommate now, but we can probably extend things. Like maybe if people are moving to far town to like work, they can stay closer in like other, it just turns his house into a shelter and like a maker space. Because he has become dedicated to like, he spends like most of his times trying to like help clean up the hollows and help the hollowed folk as well, and it starts like using his art to like sort of bring awareness to like this place that like so many people use, but should be taken care of just as much as any part of the city.
Orlean will gladly help you and assist you and like mentor you on to get your home set up for that, and will also bring in the caretaker of the house without a key, Eleanor, Emery's sister, who you met at your gallery, and she will also assist you.
Yeah, and I think that's his goal. He becomes so busy with that, but like loves to make he always makes time for everyone. And continues to court at Estrella.
And Songbird is learning so much about being like a walking person. It is a learning curve.
Oh, and Ray is so excited to like be there. Ray is like a really excited like foster dad. It's just like, look at my kid. Look, I had a person make a magical photo of my child. And it's this tall plant thing like moving around.
There are multiple art pieces on the fridge with magnets, which are just like holes from their thorns, artistically arranged.
Yeah. But it's all about like Ray has been so lonely for so long, and now he is surrounded with intention and with joy, that he wants to like help other people become less lonely. And I think that's his epilogue. I have been Victor. I did the same thing Kian did. I am Victor. I have been Ray. Treat yourself with gentleness and kindness, and find me on Wednesdays at over on the Mandy's channel, where I am Sinark, who is a very gay man. And that's really like my plug for now, and I'll pass it over to one of our other two players.
I think Sophrona, she finishes training her birds, her little albatrosses that she got from way back in the when she destroyed Ray's statue. She's been training them as like messenger birds, and I think she's going to finish doing that, and I think she's going to try and start cultivating a garden, starting with her little plant from Emerin. I think she also is getting a little better at being Vance. It's a little easier to be on time when you have some divination skill these days. It's a lot easier. She started this wanting to know things, and I think she's gotten really, really good at knowing things. So yeah, I think it's very simple at that point. Just kind of really nice. I'm Gena. I have been Sophrona Javier. Surname never mentioned. You can find me if you miss me or want to see me play more Lighthouse people. I am on Afterlife Nexus on Girls Runs These Worlds. We are currently on break, but we will be back on Wednesday, July 19th for another 4 episodes. You can take this time to catch up, I guess, if you're interested, but that's where you can find me. Or, I guess, _Jonathan on Twitter, where I'm trying to be more active again.
Hello. I think we find Lace preparing for a party. I think that Lace has invited everybody over. And her epilogue is preparing snacks for everybody. There's several different plates for everyone's different dietary requirements. I think that a lot of people are coming over, but I think that Lace has invited Aspen over a little earlier than everybody else. And this is partially, I think some time has probably passed since everything happened, and she knows that Aspen, they were kind of needing to take some time to process. But after some time has passed, Lace will extend an invitation. And hopefully, if Aspen comes over, we'll share that she would like them to collaborate with her on creating a specific magic item that will help her neighbors, the dodos, fly. And so that is very early in the planning stages, but it's something that she's been thinking about for a while. And I think her conspiracy board kind of becomes something different, because I think that Lace is very interested in the way that magic works. I know in other systems, in Friends at the Table, they call it circumstances, like the specific conditions that need to exist in order for a spell or an effect to happen. And I think that that's what she's going to start pursuing in her weaving. And so instead of having just the red on the board, I think the entire room becomes different colors of yarn, and it's just connected in different places, and it moves because magic is not static, it shifts. And so there is, I think, to Lace, a beauty in the fact that it will never be complete and it will never be correct, because it will be always changing. And I think that Shard is setting up a card table for whatever Shard and Osmond are going to get up to with that. There are some LLC papers floating around, and Lace has nothing to do with them and is not going to ask, frankly.
During your party, is Osmond, Shard, and like a couple other like pets from around the neighborhood playing poker, like in the dogs play poker painting?
Exactly. It's perfect. And I think that Short Ray, as well as all of her friends, and Frankie comes over, and I think that she is also taking the time to illustrate things. And if Ray is interested, something along the lines of magical art would be probably within her abilities, because she was an artist, or is an artist. And so I think that we leave Lace trying to create with magic some of the comfort that she thinks she can find in not understanding magic, but in exploring it. And I am Gilly, and I have been Lace, and also sometimes Shard, but not always. And you can find me at Oh Look It's Gilly on most places on the internet. On Fridays, you can find me on Girls Run These Worlds for the next 4 weeks. We are one episode into our mini-series of Misspent Youth, which is a follow-up to a one-shot we played in January, and we got greenlit for a series, so that's super cool. And we are teenagers who may or may not be trying to save the world, so we'll see how that goes. This has been a pleasure, and I want to thank everybody, and thank Mare especially for creating this super cool world that we got to play in.
And I think that's just me. Hi, I'm Mare. You can find me on Twitter at Archmage of Dice. I have been your game master for this entire game. Right now, the only things I'm doing are on Sundays at 6 p.m. Eastern over on Neon Lights Roleplay. I run a game of Printweaver Pillars of Ink, which is a Gothic Souls-like game where my players die a lot, and I am throwing them through emotional turmoil. We will not have a session this coming week, but we will be back July 2nd for episode 8. We're a little more than halfway through the game. And tomorrow night, I will be at 8 p.m. Eastern on Neon Lights Roleplay. I will be in a charity game of Root. and I will be playing a hare from Watership Down, based off a character from Watership Down. And I will also be in a couple charity games in July, which haven't been announced yet. I'm not going to go into what's currently going on the channel. Check the Twitter. It's late. Everyone have a lovely evening, and thank you so much for joining, to all my players and all of y'all who were watching for this amazing journey. Stick around for the raid. We're going to go raid Neon Lights Roleplay. Thank you, and see you soon. Bye.